973.
Nick Abbot.
So is everyone hot enough? They increased the scare level from level 4. I'm assuming that it goes the higher the number, the less the level. Just like, DEFCON 1 is when we're all dead. Level 1 would be very, very serious. Now we're at level 3 for heat. A heat health alert. So level 2 would be, what is it now? 32 degrees? I can't think in centigrade. It would be 90 Fahrenheit. It's a number that never gets reached in this country. 90. So level 2 would be 100. And level 1 is when you're actually on fire. Being on fire is hazardous to your health. That's what Tony Blair says. So this is LBC 97.3. Ian is lying down, just as they said on Alison's show. He's dipped his feet in water and he's lying underneath an open window, fanning himself. I'm Nick Abbott, shipped in from Saturday nights. With me, producer Lucy. How's it going, Lucy?
Very well.
You went to a wedding at the weekend.
Did I?
Didn't you?
No.
Oh, that must be somebody else then.
I wish I had.
Someone else called Lucy. Where did you go?
I was singing at the weekend.
Singing?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you like to sing for us now?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
You wouldn't want to hear it.
So, this is unusual for you. You're doing a show with me when it's light outside.
I know.
I didn't actually know there was a window behind me. I didn't know that. I know there was glass. I didn't actually realise that it went outside. It's light there. Yeah,
I know, it's
strange.
nice, isn't it?
Helen is here. She'll be pressing buttons and so on.
Hello.
So, Lucy, ready?
I'm ready.
Helen, ready?
Ready.
I couldn't resist that. Let's have a couple from Helen ready right now. You didn't bring them with you?
No.
No?
No.
Not prepared. See? What kind of a producer is that? Are we finished talking about the football yet?
No.
No. It's all anybody can, it's all anybody can read. I don't know. Are people still talking about it? I noticed that in our gorgeous cafe, I just availed myself of their facilities. Salad's very nice. I tried to eat long enough before I came on the air so you wouldn't get that afternoon slump. Which, is likely to happen in this kind of heat, right? Everyone's going around in a slump. You know, it took me about 20 minutes to drive here from where I live, which is about the same time that it takes to drive at 1 o'clock in the morning. There was no one out. I came here the other day in the less nice weather, and it took about an hour. 20 minutes. I was virtually the only person on the roads. I think everyone's done a bunk. I don't think anybody's actually at work today.
They certainly were on the tubes today.
Really?
Oh, it was hideous.
Is there anything worse than being on the tube in the morning, in the rush hour, in the heat? Like, can you think of anything worse? Because you just had a shower, right? Tell me that you just have a shower before you go out.
Of course.
Of course. You've powdered yourself from top to toe. You smell fantastic. You don't mind me saying that, do you? And then, you leave your house, an aromatic, freshly cleaned, squeaky thing, and you go onto the tube, and already, like, within seconds, you need a shower. You feel grimy, because you have to hold the handle for a start, which is something I never like to do. In the winter, you can get away with wearing gloves, but in the summer, you start to feel like the Queen, going everywhere. That's why she wears white gloves all the time, so she doesn't have to grip on the slimy handle of the tube. See, that's thinking. She's using her thinking head, her thinking tiara. That's what she sticks on in the morning. Right before she gets into the Tupperware. Let's talk about the Queen's morning routine, shall we? Right up until the ablutions. We won't go there. She has to have some privacy. Yeah, but you get on the tube and, blimey, some people... I know there's a water shortage on, but really... you're screwing your face up.
I find I shower all the time when it's this hot. It's the only thing to make me feel a bit better. Don't you find when it's so hot, you just want to wash?
I'm gonna tell the local water board, and they're gonna put they're gonna fine you £1,000.
I'm only using a bucket's worth every time.
You're not using a hose.
Certainly not.
Right. When you say all the time, I mean approximately how long? How often?
Well, I did manage 4 showers on Saturday.
Well, that's just weird.
But that's because I had a rehearsal and a concert. So I had a shower before when I woke up in the morning, then I had one when I got back from my rehearsal, then I had another one just before the concert, and then I had another one afterwards. Is that weird?
Yeah, speaking as a psychologist, that is actually something that you should have been calling into Alison's show about.
Oh, oh dear. I'll be quiet.
The last call that she had, that was really upsetting. This bloke called in, and he when he goes out in the heat, I can't even bring myself to say it. His corneas melt. I mean, that's just horrific. Let me tell you about eyes. I had my eyes lasered. Do you want me to walk you through that? You ever had your eyes lasered, Helen?
No.
No.
What is it?
Okay, do you really want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Now, you actually have to really want me to tell you.
I really do.
In just a second.
All right.
Anything in particular you wanted to talk about?
You better put the fader down because she's taking a call. She's going to be giving out her number in a minute. Yes. Okay, when you get... Oh, well, I'll need at least 3 people who want me to go through that story again, because it really takes it out of me, apart from anything else. Having your eyes lasered. Yeah, it's something to think about if you're insane. When you go there, you notice that nobody who's actually working in the place where you get your eyes lasered has had their eyes lasered. Everyone wears glasses. They don't even wear contact lenses because it's just a parade of people through their door, night and day, with growths sticking out their face because their contact lens was dirty, or a little bit of dust got underneath it, or some of the dust in the tube, which is, as I was mentioning on Saturday night, is actually the sloughed skin of billions of... Don't look at me like that. I know you weren't here on Saturday, but
I'm really sorry, I missed hearing
here's
that.
the news. All that dust that's on the tube is not... Some of it's brick dust, right, because it's been there. Some of it's been there for about 100 years, isn't it, approximately? And I can say that with confidence, having no idea what the actual date when it was Baker Street to Euston Square or something like that. They could have walked that far, the Victorians. Or whichever period it was built in. I've got no idea. I went to a private school. They didn't teach that sort of thing. They taught us deportment. You went to a private school as well, didn't you? You were taught by nuns, and you came out, relatively sane.
Relatively.
Relatively sane, yeah.
Apart from the showering.
But, yes, yeah, seriously, if it gets to 5, then you really need help. Wait till Anna gets back and give her a call. Will you do that for me?
Okay. I've only had one today.
I only had one today,
so
yeah.
far.
And people in the office are already, making a mental note to have a chat with you about it. Here's Louise. Hello, Louise.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Good. It's not just a tube as well. It's horrible to get on, but buses are as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't get a word you just said.
Sorry, it's my accent. But it's not just the tubes that are horrible to be on, but buses are as well.
Well, there's something uniquely horrible about tubes, because buses, you can only get so many in a bus, by law. There's a note when you go in that says, do not talk to the driver, do not spit. They used to have notices on the buses that said, do not spit. No spitting. What a vile thing to have to put a notice up for. It's like no going to the toilet. I mean, you just don't do it, right?
Yeah.
But, yes, and so you don't talk to the driver, you don't spit, you don't smoke, can't do this, can't do that, don't stand forward at the yellow line, two yellow cards and you're off, and you'll miss the next game, and only 10 people standing, right?
Yeah.
But in the tube, there's no limit.
Well, I've only been on a tube once or twice, which was when I was down there for my birthday in London, and it was horrible. And luckily, we missed all the rush hour stuff, but I could just imagine it when you were saying it.
And horrible, even outside of the rush hour. Yeah, you've got no idea. Just to see how the other half live, because most of the people in this town have to do that every day, and it's got to be the worst way to start a day that you can possibly think of.
Oh God, I hate that.
It is horrific. Because in the winter, you're bundled up against the cold that's outside, then you go onto the tube, and then you're taking off your hat, your coat, your scarf, your gloves, your jumper, your jacket. You're actually doing a striptease on the tube, not to lose half of your body weight in sweat, right?
Right.
So you can't win either way. And when it's raining outside, everybody stinks because nobody uses the dry cleaners, especially men. And so so all of their personal smell is entrapped. I'm sure they make suits this way in order to suck up the smell and then keep it there for exactly that, a rainy day, and then it releases itself. Everyone's got little smell bombs going off on the tube, little personal explosions of aroma, and it sort of coalesces, and it's virtually like brown rain on the tube. If one cloud meets another, lightning inside the tube.
Ew. And you've not got to make eye contact either. Else people think you're going to
kill them or speak to them. Yeah, which might be even... most people would prefer immediate death than to have to speak to somebody in a crowd on the tube that they don't know. Yeah. Even people they do know. You go onto the tube and you're chatting away on the platform, blah, 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 and then you go onto the tube and then you act like you don't know them anymore. You don't want to look at them, you don't want to be near them, you're like, no eye contact, you don't... certainly no touching. When was the last time you were touched on the tube, Louise?
Never.
Never. See, she's only been on twice.
Oh, I've been on twice, luckily. It was in Phoenix, though, because I've never been out before. I was quite excited, actually, until I got on.
It was... Well, so the thought of it was exciting. In theory, the tube's exciting, but when you actually do it, then it all falls apart. It's like our football team. In theory, they were great. On paper, fantastic. On grass?
No.
Are you sick of football already?
I hate football.
Oh, come on, Louise. How can you hate it?
I was telling you on Saturday, wasn't I? I don't like it.
That's too sweeping a statement to hate it. Didn't you get even remotely excited?
No, not really. I don't pretend to like football. I've never been into it. Not even when I'm in pub and it's on. I don't pretend to like it.
What about the flag? Did you get excited to see the English flag?
It's nice.
Go on, say yes.
It's been nice to see
Say
a
it.
flag out.
Say
Yeah.
yes. Yes. Yes, they're going to change the England flag. Have you heard about this?
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Yeah, here we go again. Thanks, Louise. I've got to go.
All right.
Ta-da, dear. What a nice lady. Yes, they're going to change the England flag, and I'll tell you all about that in a minute. Here's Travel with Joanne Webb.
Well, let's start with the M1, as there's two problems.
Yes, I'll need at least 2 people to confirm that they want me to go through my eyes having been lasered story. I haven't done it in this slot. I've done it in pretty much every other slot. I've grossed people out on every show that I've ever done, but not here. So I don't know if this audience is actually prepared for it now. It might be just too much.
So you've had it done, have you?
Weren't you listening when I said this before?
I was on the phone.
I'm sure I've sat here looking at your horrified expression and gone through that story already. That wasn't you.
No, that wasn't me. That was probably Helen's expression.
Probably your doppelganger.
My sister's had hers done.
Right, well that's nice, but we're talking about me now.
Okay.
How did she find it?
Well, the anaesthetic wore off on her second eye, so she started convulsing in the seat while it was being lasered.
Really?
Yeah, really. So it made the flap come undone on the first eye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Let's go. See, when I'm talking about me having had it done, I can almost remove myself from it, because I know that I've been through that. I don't surprise myself with any of the details, because I'm familiar with the story, when I'm saying. So when somebody else comes in and they talk about flaps and that, okay, I don't know where this is going, so let's just stop it there. She had the flap and zap, eh? Yeah, there's two. There's 2 types. I had the worst one.
There's worse?
Oh, yeah, much worse. Ooh. Well, there's 3 types. They had, because it started when they, with an accident in Russia. Somebody dropped a glass on the floor or some such thing, and a shard of glass went into their eye, and suddenly, I can see! Because it cut the cornea in just precisely the right way in order to reshape the cornea so that they could see properly. And the Russians stroked their little beards. They wear beards in Russia? Oh, sure. Let's just say that they do, yeah. Well, Google it. A little later on.
We'll go with it.
Yeah. Approximately 87% of people in Russia wear beards, according to google.rus. And so they had them virtually on a production line. They were having boats with, and you'd think of all the least, of all the operations that you'd want to be most stable for, the eye operation would be right up there, right? But they were doing it on boats. And they were having people with a conveyor belt they were going through. Russian doctors slashing at their face. Anyway, hello, hi, Stephen.
Hello, Lenin had a beard, did you
Lenin did have a beard, yes.
I was just looking up dust on the internet. 80% of dust is human skin.
So in the tube, 80% of that black stuff that clings to your face, goes in your eyes, up your nose, is other people's skin parts.
And how often do they clean it?
Well, it's been going approximately 100 years now, and so far, not once.
It gets worse than that. What about in the supermarket, when you're buying from them salad things and that, and people are all walking around the supermarket, how much skin is dropping onto the salad that you buy?
So they have a salad section here in the canteen in Chrysalis Towers. Have they done a survey? Approximately how much of the salad you buy is made up of human skin? And do they give you a reduction accordingly?
Are you eating yourself?
Am I eating myself?
Yeah, your dust falling onto the salad, you're consuming it.
Oh, right. Well, I'd rather eat myself than someone else, depending, of course, on who it is. Let's make a list of the people that we'd rather eat, yes.
The woman in the canteen is Russian.
Is she?
Has she got a beard?
She's She's a very nice lady.
But she hasn't got a beard.
I was tiptoeing around her as though she had a meat cleaver in her hand.
But it does give a good thing. If you do have a lot of dust in your house, it means that you are producing new skin, and therefore you're still alive.
Right, it was Quentin Crisp who said that he doesn't dust because... Can't be bothered. It was... I'm sure... I think that was the actual reason, but I think he put it more elegantly than that. I think he said something like, once it gets to 2 inches of dust, then that's about its limit, and then it just drops onto the floor. Oh, Helen's got her hand up.
I think the quote was, once you've not dusted for the first 7 years, it doesn't get any worse.
Right.
Yeah, anyway,
and that also applies to washing your hair as well.
So,
Apparently that's not true.
What do you mean?
That thing about how your hair repairs itself after 6 months. Apparently
Repairs
that's an
itself?
urban myth.
Well, it's the oil just goes from one end of your hair to the other, and so the dirt that acquired 6 months previously gets dislodged. It just drops off the end, probably in droplets.
This conversation's revolting.
Yeah, Stephen.
Nick, is it true that if you stop washing your hair, eventually you don't need to wash it anymore?
Yeah, well, that's the conversation we were just having. Are you listening to this show?
I was on
another line. Yeah, you have a lot of important business to conduct right now.
Well, wife come home from school.
Oh, that sort of business.
But, yeah, I mean, do we really need to actually wash our hair?
Yes, you do. Yeah. Take it from me. Yes, you do. Why do you think that the supermarket is the only thing that's got 2 aisles in the supermarket are crisps and hair products? I mean, choosing a shampoo is you virtually take all day. How can you even begin to do it? Does it have jojoba
do we need conditioner?
Plant extracts? And yes, we absolutely do. More products. That's what we should buy. More products and more packaging. Absolutely, yes.
Anyway, you're off to a concert tonight.
And we should leave it all on standby. A concert tonight?
Yeah, so you told us.
No, I went to a concert yesterday. I went to Hyde Park and I went to see The Who.
Rock and roll!
All right.
Oh, right, so you went last night. Was it
I
good?
went. It was, you know what? I saw The Who. It was my second ever concert. And I was 16 at the time, and I went to Glasgow, which is a very scary place then. And it was Celtic Park. And it looked like, you know those films of London in the Blitz? That's exactly what it looked like. Shells of buildings and bombed-out craters and people carrying swords, hoodies.
It's improved since.
Yes, improved a little bit since. Yeah, it's been gentrified, like everywhere else in the world, apart from Southend. Has Southend been gentrified yet?
I haven't got a clue about that.
You haven't got a clue. All right, we'll Google that as well.
But did they have as good a singing voice as when you first saw them?
You know, I tell you what, Roger Daltrey can properly sing. He must be, 60 years old?
Plus.
I don't know what he is doing, but he is looking and sounding fantastic. He must live in a fridge. Whatever your secret is, Roger, we'd all like to know. Write a book.
Was you using a stadium buddy?
What does that mean?
Well, I can't go into details. It's afternoon radio, but it just means basically you haven't got to go to the toilet.
Oh, oh, right. Where you use it, yes, avail yourself of the facilities right where you're standing.
You've got the idea.
And then dispose of it aerially.
Later.
Yeah. No, right then, apparently. If you go to a heavy metal concert, then the plastic bottle that's hit you on the back of the head is not full of water.
Oh, no, this is a product.
No, what I managed to hold it in. I'm a grown-up. It was only 2 hours.
Was the person smelling next to you?
No, everyone was fragrant. In fact, you know, I went through Hyde Park. I arrived there at 6 o'clock. It was a baking day, unrelenting sunshine yesterday, right? And I went there thinking, this is going to be carnage. People are going to be flaked out on the ground because you drink in the sun and it makes it much, much worse. It's like drinking on a plane. And people are going to be bright red. They're going to be sun banner headline red. And everyone was white. There wasn't even a hint of pink. It seemed as though everyone had been wearing a lead suit to protect themselves from the sun. I was expecting it to be just unbelievable to see of human misery, but everyone was fine and no one was drunk and people weren't fighting each other. Because when I went to The Who in 1976, it was right after they played Charlton football ground. And there were just story after story. It was like a war zone down there. People were being carried out on stretchers, and it was a nightmare. And thinking this, when I went to Glasgow, I thought, oh no, I'm never going to make it out alive. Just being a tremulous, pustulant 16-year-old going to Celtic football ground, which has a reputation, all itself, to go to a concert that was a bloodbath in London just the week before. I thought I'll never make it. But I did, and I'm here to tell the story, which I'll have to do at a later point because we're bang up against the ads. But thanks a lot, Stephen.
Thanks, bye.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
This is LBC 97.3. I'm Nick Abbott, and I'll be back after these massages.
London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
I don't know what you put in the tea, Lucy, but it is fantastic. No one makes tea like you. I feel like I've been drugged.
Oh, that's good.
I feel
isn't
like
it?
I'm on something illegal. Like I'm speeding my bosoms off over here. Let's go dancing, you and me. Let's go to Brighton right now. We'll get on our moped and we can be there before sunset. What do you think? No?
No.
You obviously haven't drunk your own tea. You'd be up for it then. No worries. Right, I'm going to do a poll today. Everyone's talking about the football. I'll talk about that briefly in a moment. And the poll question is, who would do a better job than Sven? I've given you a list of possibles, and I'll tell you more about how that's going to work as we come back.
On FX.
An old woman in the northeast, a 68-year-old dear, had a stroke and woke up speaking Jamaican. That can't happen, surely. Because she used to have a northeast accent. Helen is about to do as a northeast accent. Off you go. No?
What, northeast?
Yeah,
Oh, hang on, let me do that. Why, man? You're right.
That's exactly correct.
You're right, Nick?
Yes, I am all right. Thanks for asking. And she woke up speaking with a Jamaican accent. Don't bother doing that. People will get offended. That's ridiculous. It's called... There even has a syndrome name. All right, go on then.
Go on, Lucy.
No, you volunteered, Helen.
Would you like a fanfare? A build-up of some kind? I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1, go.
LBC, would you like to talk to Nick?
Oh, hang on.
It's all right, keep it.
I can't
For
do it.
another day.
I can't do it.
No. The Race Relations Board has been on the phone and specifically asked you not to do it. We were saved just in time. It's even got a syndrome, so this is not something that's like out of the blue. She's not making this up. It's happened to other people as well. So she goes to bed speaking why I like, and wakes up with a thick Jamaican accent. That's impossible. And the syndrome is called foreign accent syndrome. Which foreign accent would you like me to do the rest of the show in? How about Shabazz?
Oh, yes, I do like that one.
What's happened to that bloke, anyway? I mean, we thought that he was going to be, I don't know, either dead or in prison or one of the two within the week after he'd been released, and so far nothing. Right? Is anybody watching Big Brother? I'll take that as a no. Only the 16 million people a day who are glued to it. But it's one of those things that it's almost verboten to talk about in polite society. Oh no, I never watched that. Never watched television. We don't have one. I only read books in French. Here's Philip. Hey, Philip.
Good afternoon, Nick.
What's up?
A friend of mine's lent me a DVD. It's called Winter Dreams, and what it is, you put it in the DVD player, and up on your TV screen comes this window. You're in a cabin, right? And you look out the window, and it snows for 55 minutes.
And then what?
Well, that's it. It's what they call an atmospheric DVD. So it's perfect for today. You put the DVD on, and you got a choice of music you can have. You can have Winter Dreams, Christmas Meditation, and you sit there and you look out the window of this cabin, and you see the snow falling down. It's freezing cold out there for 55 minutes. Isn't that wonderful?
Well, if you have 55 minutes to spare, and you've done absolutely everything else, then, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, because I gather they're pretty popular, these things. You can get different ones, you know. I suppose you can get one for the winter where you're sitting at the window looking out and it's the sun shining.
Yeah, probably right. You know, there's a TV channel. If you ever have, a spare few days, click up one of the TV channels at the top end of your satellite spectrum. Mm-hmm. This won't work on Freeview.
Oh, right. Oh, no, I've got Freeview, yeah.
Oh, well, you want to get yourself some satellite, Phil.
Oh, right, yeah, yes, I will do, maybe.
Step into the 80s, will you?
Because there used to be, interrupting you, Nick, there used to be a channel, didn't there, a wonderful channel called Landscape.
Well, what I was going to say is there used to be a channel, I think it was in German, it's probably Dutch, where they put a camera on the front of a boat and they just set it off on a canal.
Oh, wow.
And that was it.
Oh, that sounds great.
Because you think, you're waiting there and they've got nice music playing, you think, well, where's the boat going? Where's the boat going? Then you tune back an hour or so later and it's just still going.
Still going down the towpath.
Dikes are going by and...
Oh, wow. Yeah, this Landscape channel used to be like that. They used to play these wonderful music, and you had different videos that went with it, you know, all round the world. And they had I believe they did actually have one where you were on a tugboat, going down, and it was really good.
That sounds like you have too much spare time on your hands, Phil.
No. It just, my friend said to me, well, I'd like to have a look. I said, yes. I said, it's a bit too hot. I said, but, anything to cool you down. But I tell you, the best place I've ever been, when it's been really warm...
Right, regardless of whether I asked, you're just going to tell me anyway.
I'm sorry, Nick.
Off you go.
When I was in Christchurch in New Zealand, they got there the Antarctic Centre.
In New Zealand?
Yep.
Yes.
Because that's where all the Americans and the New Zealand and the Australians go to prepare for their flight to Antarctica. And
the many thousands of people who would choose Antarctica as their holiday destination.
They've got this centre there where you can go round and see how it all works, and you can also put on jackets and boots and go into a special room where they simulate what it's like in Antarctica.
Phil, I think you need to go in a special room.
I know. I think I'll put that DVD on and get the full effect.
Did you go all 55 minutes? Did you wait to the end to see what was going to happen?
Oh, it was, yeah, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own soundtrack. I'm going to provide my own music for it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, can you play some music for us now?
No, I haven't got it on right at this moment. I turned it off.
Well, what kind of instrument do you play?
Me? I don't play any instruments. No. But I'm talking about, records and...
Oh, he plays records.
Music.
He's very musical. He can do anything. Him, Led Zeppelin to Pink Floyd. He can throw in Bachman Turner Overdrive if necessary.
Oh wow, that would be good looking at snow, wouldn't it?
Got them all on record.
Red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah.
Because the best place, in England, is to walk down the chill cabinets in supermarkets for a couple of hours.
A couple of hours. You really do have too much time on your hands.
No, I lead.
Don't you have a hobby of some kind, Philip?
Pardon?
Do you have a pastime of some?
Oh, I'm retired.
Yeah, like I'm saying.
What pastime? Yeah, listening to LBC.
Listen to LBC and staring out the window. That's a good choice, Philip. Congratulations. Okay, you've chosen wisely. Thanks a lot, mate. What a nice bloke. Front page of the Sun, the Super Soaraway Sun. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you about this. We're going to have a poll today. Who do you think would be better than Sven? I'll tell you how to get that in a minute. Wayne, I'll split him in two on the front page of the Sun. Did he really say that? Talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. Furious, Wayne Rooney has threatened to, quotes, split Cristiano Ronaldo in two when they next meet. See, this is an example of why this guy lost it for us, right? He's an idiot. If you're going to split someone in two, either literally or metaphorically, you don't tell everyone about it first, do you? What an idiot. There's no brain at all. All the brains have dropped into his feet. Unfortunately, as a footballer, that's where you want most of them. But some, just a smidge, should be still in your head. Just to be able to, so you can stay on the pitch for 90 minutes. The England striker says this slippery Portuguese winker, because he winked, apparently. Maybe he just had something in his eye. Or maybe he winked to his teammates, thinking, the loon has gone, now we've really got a chance. I think they had a chance anyway, because until Wayne Rooney went off, we were rubbish. We were better without him. They reckon that Cristiano Ronaldo got Wayne Rooney sent off. No. You see, now this is a problem with society in general. Hands up who thinks I'm right about this. It's that people like him and, the people who are dragging us all down are living in a world without consequences. This is the problem with, the law and order issue that will continue to raise its ugly head until everyone is locked up. Hands up who wants everyone locked up. Okay, now hands down if you're a Daily Mail reader. Oh, that's everyone. It's because there's no consequences. Every action that this thick-necked boy has ever done has come with no consequences because he's great at football. He can do anything he likes and no one will tell him no. Someone should get the nanny around to Wayne. Should be wagging his finger in his face and saying, no, Wayne. Stick him on the naughty step. Stick his gigantic thighs over. If we can find one wide enough, we'll stick him on the naughty step. No, Wayne. No one's ever said no, Wayne. As a nation, we should be wagging our fingers saying no, Wayne, like that. What an idiot. And it's the Bart Simpson excuse. Oh, it was like that when I got... It wasn't me. Nothing to do with me. I get sent off. Nothing to do with me. Not my fault. I kicked this man in his area, and I pushed another player. I raised my hand.
Guildford?
In his Guildfords, yes. And I raised my hand, and pushed another guy right in front of the referee. He virtually had to push the referee out the way to get at him, and is amazed, stunned, the stunned look on his face as he looks up and gets, and Helen's got her hand up again.
Sorry, are you talking about the match? Because I didn't see any of it.
Okay. What were you doing at the time?
I was in the park.
In the park?
And there was nobody there.
Well, it was an excellent time to be in the park.
It was great,
then.
it was great.
You know what's the problem with parks? Yeah, people. Too many people. That's the problem with everything, really, isn't it? Tubes, roads, parks, orgies. Too many people.
No, it sounds exciting the way you're describing it.
What, orgies?
No, the
Sandra, where are you
the
calling
football
from?
match.
Oh, yeah, it was great. You should have joined in. The whole
Okay,
country
what
was
do you
there.
want to
Where were
talk
you?
about?
In a
I
park,
was in
on
the
your
park,
own?
Yeah.
On your own?
Yeah.
That's right.
And how was it for you?
It was good.
It was great.
Really
Okay,
good.
well then you had a better time than we did. But that's the problem, is that he got himself sent off, but it's not his fault. It's not my fault. It's Cristiano Ronaldo's fault. It's pathetic. Troubled Rooney, 20, blew his top and branded Man United teammate Ronaldo a pretty boy. Well, you know, in comparison, yes. Which would you rather? One or the other?
Rooney.
You'd rather Rooney?
Yeah.
Get out. You find Rooney more attractive than Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah.
You can't be serious.
Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of someone else. Ronaldinho from Brazil. Sorry.
There's no point discussing football with Helen.
Okay, well, let's weigh this up. Ronaldinho from Brazil. He's the guy with the teeth, right? That's the chap you're talking about. You know that they've got a bottle opener with his face and the teeth of the... You can imagine that, can't you? It's hilarious. Yes, okay. Well, that I'll give you. Yes, Wayne Rooney versus Ronaldinho. You'd rather kick Ronaldinho out of bed, but be honest, you'd rather be in bed on your own, right? Especially in weather like this. You'd rather not have the sweat of either of them messing up your sheets. But Ronaldo, I'll give you a picture in a minute. You can dribble at him at your leisure.
Is he the one with the long hair?
No, short hair and a body like it's been chiselled out of marble.
He's Dancing Boy, isn't he?
Dancing Boy.
He's got like dancing feet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Helen's with us now. Mentally, she's still in the park. Physically, she's with us. It's a step forward, at least. So, yes, I still haven't mentioned about this poll yet, have I? Virtually the entire show's gone, and I keep saying, I'm gonna, like a teenager with floppy hair wandering around his bedroom. Tidy up your room, Wayne. I'm gonna. Pathetic. Anyway, we've got loads of this, like acres of this to get through. And the poll question will be, who do you think is going to make a better manager for England than Sven? Oh, and travel with Joanne Webb.
Well, let's start with the motorways. There's still quite a lot going on.
London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
Let's go to Fulham. Hello, Sandra.
Hello, Nick.
Sandra.
Yeah. I totally disagree with you, what you were saying before the travel.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I disagree. Because Rooney was fouled on.
Fouled on?
He was fouled on.
Yes.
And this is what happens in football.
Yeah.
You know, it happens. It happens in rugby. It happens in football. They fight. They push. He didn't deserve to be sent off.
Yeah,
Yellow card, maybe, yes.
Well, it depends on, you know, those are the rules now. I mean, if you've been watching the tournament so far, you get sent off for virtually everything. You get sent off for giving the referee a dirty look.
No,
and you definitely 100... You know what? I don't think he even got sent off because he kicked the man in his Guildford.
Guildford.
Yeah. I think he got sent off because he raised his hand to Cristiano Ronaldo and he pushed him in the chest, and I think that's an automatic sending off.
Well,
if you act like you're going to fight someone, then you have to go.
They've been told to get him off the pitch. That's what they felt he was a threat.
Well, of course. I mean, every team goes in and tries to take out the main threat. Yes, that's the nature of the game. But if the main threat is stupid enough to push someone right in front of the referee, that gets you sent off. That just gets you sent. I don't think it was for the stamping at all.
Both of them should be sent off.
No, why? Ronaldo didn't do anything.
Well, he shouldn't be pointing it out to the ref.
Well, they all do that.
Now, I'm going to ask a question that nobody wants to ask.
Oh, go on then.
What are we doing having an Argentinian refereed an England match?
All right. Well, no one has any complaints about the referee in this match.
Well,
I mean, if you go through you do. Yeah, okay.
I do.
You stand alone. Good for you, Sandra.
I think that is why he had to have, retake his penalty and all.
Do you think we should send the
I
troops?
think somebody should raise it to FIFA. I think somebody should definitely raise.
Maybe we should just invade.
Pardon me?
Maybe we should send the boat around, a couple of boats around there.
Send the soldiers back to Argentina.
We'll put Maggie on the bridge.
Exactly. But I totally disagree. I think he didn't deserve to be sent off. He did not.
Well, warm up our nuclear deterrent.
Yes.
As long as we're not going to overreact.
Definitely.
All right, listen, thanks a lot, Sandra. You seem very worked up about this.
Pardon me?
You seem like very, I don't know, is it too hot to be this excited about this?
I'm not excited. I'm
it sounds like you're
very, I'm sort of, I was quite...
calm.
I couldn't function afterwards. I could not function afterwards.
No, me either. I had to do
the World Cup.
Yeah, I had to do a show as well. Straight afterwards, I had to come and do a show. Yeah.
I couldn't. I had to go to sleep straight away.
Did you? I was in a funk.
I just couldn't, stay up.
You had to shut down. Yeah.
I was too
like the Terminator. When
too upset.
You had a mental electrical misfire, and you had to shut yourself down. But you're working on all cylinders now.
I am working on all cylinders. I think FIFA should raise it. Nobody should pick it. Well, that Ronaldo man shouldn't be playing for Manchester United at all.
No.
He shouldn't be playing here.
Right, but which would you choose in a lineup?
What do you mean?
For a night out.
Who have we got in a lineup?
Ronaldo and Rooney. Those shoulders, that's a lineup that lasts about 12 yards.
But the rugby man, always. Definitely a Rooney.
Okay.
Definitely a Rooney.
There you do stand on your own, but thanks a lot, Sandra.
Thank you.
Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
Right, so we're going to have a poll, and the poll is, there's a labyrinthine way to get to it. First you go on to lbc.co.uk. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lucy. And then you go on to the on-air button, and then you choose Saturdays. Now, I know that seems a little weird, but that's what I'm normally on, right? So that's the part that you'll find me under. So it's lbc.co.uk, on air, which is one of the buttons along the top. Go down to Saturday, and then choose my name. I think it's the bottom left-hand corner. And then up will pop this poll that we're having today. Who do you think would do a better job than Sven? Your choices are Steve McLaren. He's our, was he even our second choice? Like third, fourth, fifth? He was hanging around the office at the time. He went to get somebody a cup of tea and they said, almost like one of those Mickey Rooney movies. Let's do the show right here. How about you, boy? You can be a star. Look, Ma, I'm on top of the world. So Steve McLaren, the bloke that the papers are saying that we're stuck with, which is an awful thing to do. I mean, you come into a job and already people hate you. You haven't done anything yet. All he did was sit next to Sven and make notes. He could have been choosing his filling for his sandwich for half time. You've got no idea. He could have had nothing to do with it. It could be completely Sven's fault. And you know what? I don't think it has anything to do with the manager. The manager picks the team, and then it's the players who've got to play, right? I don't want this to be talk sports all afternoon. Sports talk all afternoon. I got that around the wrong way. What a terrible mistake. No one's going to... And Helen's got her hand up again.
Sorry, are you still talking about football?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
You can tune this out. She's in there listening to Radio 2 now. So, who would do a better job than Sven? Steve McLaren, Alex Ferguson. Now, people have been saying that the red-faced blower... How did his face get so red, by the way? It can't just be anger. It must be something else. Any suggestions? Helen's got her hand up.
He painted it like that player in the England team who got sent off red for that advert.
No, but thanks for playing. Jose Mourinho. Arsene Wenger. Now, is there a reason that the manager cannot also be a player? Because the manager doesn't actually do anything, right? Oh, my God, Helen's got her hand up again.
Kevin Keegan.
No, we don't want that hairstyle back again. At all, ever. Even Roger Daltrey's has shaved his off. And he looks fantastic for it. How on earth does a man that's 90 years old sound that great and look that great? I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, he doesn't twirl the microphone quite as high as he used to. He used to throw that thing about 50 yards into the air. You probably can't see that far now. He wears glasses. Poor dear. Roger Daltrey, Pete Townshend's guitar work was phenomenal. The only thing I'm really upset about is that I missed the concert the previous night, because a lot of people that were there were saying that they'd also been there the previous night, backstage in the VIP area, where I managed to wangle my way in. I shouldn't actually have been there, but, you know, you make... I'll do anything for a free drink, me. Literally anything. We'll have suggestions on pieces of paper. Post them to the following address. Where was I?
You're doing the lineup.
Let's work our way back. So it was Hyde Park, Roger Daltrey.
It's the poll.
The poll, yeah. How did I get from there to Roger Daltrey?
I don't know.
To what
You
I was
only
going
got
to
to
say.
Steve McLaren.
To what it's been an hour in so far, and I haven't managed to read out 7 names. It's awful. What have we talked about so far? Helen, this is your fault. You're the producer. You should be reining me in. Helen's disgusted with you. So yeah, I missed one of the shows of the year. Was anybody at the Roger Daltrey set, the Hyde Park thing? Because a lot of people that were at the Who, Roger Daltrey said, anybody here last night? And half the crowd said yes. Couldn't believe it. And the tickets were what, about £1,000 each? No, it was great. But apparently I missed one of the concerts of the century. It was Nick Mason on drums, and Roger Waters was doing Dark Side of the Moon and other songs, almost a 3-hour set. But I had to put Duty first. Don't you hate when that happens? 3:55:40. What? Oh, ads at 55. Ah, yes, you should have highlighted that. So I'll go away to come back.
The beautiful...
Right, where was I? Still trying to get through this list. Almost 60 minutes in, and I haven't been able to read out 7 names. That's because this show has been packed so far. There's so many issues I've been having to get through. Yeah, have I helped anybody yet? No?
No, not really.
Right, who would do a better job than Sven? Steve McLaren, that's the bloke that we're stuck with. Alex Ferguson, who, we all know about him. And why he got his red face. Jose Mourinho, Arsene Wenger. Now, as I was about to say, I don't think it's important that a manager shouldn't play, because the manager doesn't really do anything. He chooses the team, and that's it, right? The team then have to go and play football, which has got nothing to... Once they're on the pitch, it's not the manager, it's the players. So why can't a player also be a manager? I mean, that happens in the league. So how about Steven Gerrard or John Terry? There's been some suggestions they should give it to Wayne Rooney. Does anybody think they should give it to Wayne Rooney?
No!
No. But here's the logic.
Wasn't Kevin Keegan...
I haven't named you yet. Helen has her hand up. Wait, girl. Do you want to go to the toilet?
Can I say something about Kevin Keegan?
Wait! Got to get through this list before the news. Please help me. I need your help. So, Steven Gerrard and John Terry could conceivably be England manager. You know what? Beckenbauer? The German, is it Beckenbauer? Jürgen Klinsmann, the guy who manages Germany.
Yes.
Manages Germany from America. He calls it in. So what's the point? He might as well not even have one. He just have a guy that names the team, and then that's it. So Steven Gerrard and John Terry could reasonably be the manager. Wayne Rooney. Now, people are saying that Wayne Rooney should be it because it'll grow him up a bit, just like it did to... You're shaking your head in there.
I disagree.
When they did it to David Beckham, you remember he got sent off for almost exactly the same thing. He was lying on the ground, and he tapped a guy, and they sent him off.
Tapped? He didn't tap.
He did. He tapped the guy with his foot.
He kicked up.
Oh, it wasn't a kick. He couldn't have cracked an egg with a kick that soft. Oh, please. So he got sent off for almost exactly the same thing as Dwayne Rooney got sent off just the other day. And giving Bex the captaincy grew him up a bit. It turned him into a proper adult, right? So give it to Wayne Rooney. It might shape him up. That's what the critics are saying. Hands up who thinks that's a good idea. No one through the glass, that's for sure. You want to say something about Kevin Keegan?
I was going to say, wasn't he a player-manager?
Yes, you're probably right.
Thank
I'll
you.
say that with the confidence of someone who has got no idea what he's talking about. And the last possible on this list at lbc.co.uk is... Who could do a better job than Sven? The last choice? Your mother. Yo!
On FM.
London's LBC 97.3. 0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
So we've already got, what, about 1,000, 2,000 votes? Something like that, yes, on our little poll, and I'll repeat that in one moment. Who's the... we were discussing issues amongst ourselves while the news was on. We weren't paying attention, which is a shoddy of us, and that's mostly Lucy's fault.
Why is it my fault?
Because you're the producer and you must take it on the chin.
Okay.
But there's... yes, you are. And there's some sort of preview in Leicester Square tonight. I couldn't hear who it was. Who is going to be there? Why are the police telling people not to show up? So many people have showed up, it must be a person of great import. Who is it? Anybody, any idea? What film are they doing? We're looking at each other and shaking our heads and mumbling, we've got no idea. Nobody even cares. Are you the sort of person who would go down to Leicester Square and hang over the barrier for in the hope that Tom Cruise will pick up your mobile phone?
Never.
Never. Good for you. Unfortunately, that's the very area of town that I have to drive to, like a rocket, straight after this show, to go and do another 186 hours on the air. And she's getting a phone call, and the banker has offered £20,000 if we stop the show now. Kingston, hello, Sarah.
Oh, hello. Quick tip on surviving the heat. £170, 2 well-known stores. I'm not advertising, nothing like that. It's just I'm fat and I find it very hard to survive this heat. £170, portable air conditioning. And it's worth every penny. I haven't got much money, worth every cent in this weather. That's all I've got to say, really.
Don't you have to have, like a small hole in your house for the...
No, it goes straight out the window. You attach the hose, and it's £170 delivered to your door. 2, well-known one with a catalogue, do it, but I think you have to order. And another well-known DIY come builder store. I got it delivered last Thursday, and I haven't got a lot of money, I don't work, but worth every penny. I'm surviving the heat.
So with an air conditioner, you don't sweat much for a fat lass?
No, that's all I never phone radio stations, but me and my friend Hippie love you. You're so intelligent, you know. We get a lot of right-wing foamers and that on a lot of talk show hosts, and we absolutely love you.
I'm a left-wing foamer. Thanks a lot, Sarah.
Bye.
Ta-ra. What a nice lady. Yeah, she's right. Air conditioning, it's freezing in here. But people don't want to hear that at home, do they? They've got their tongues out and they're panting like dogs. I'm actually... whenever I come in here, I have to remember, no matter what the temperature is outside, it's 90 degrees outside, people's eyeballs are melting in the heat. Like that poor bloke who called Alison just before the news. I'm still trying to get over... What?
I'm just seeing if you've left your aircon down, because that makes it colder.
Oh, the aircon?
Yeah, because you can make it a little bit warmer if you want to.
Right. No, because once you touch air conditioning, then you've got no idea what it's going to do next. It goes up and it goes down, and then you're freezing and boiling. Just leave it as it is. That's my tip. Never turn it on.
Oh. Do you want to know what the film was?
Yes.
Brad from Twickenham told me, but he didn't have time to talk. It's the Pirates...
Hey, thanks for your contribution, Brad. I appreciate it.
He's on his way to work.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
What does he do?
I don't know, I didn't ask. Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Oh,
in Leicester Square, so Johnny Depp might be there. Woohoo!
Oh, Struth. Will it suck just as much as Pirates of the Caribbean 1 did?
I didn't see it.
Awful.
Was it awful?
Absolute tripe. Are they advertising with us? It's a great film and everyone should go and see it. Number 2 will be infinitely better than number 1. That's my prediction.
Good.
Are they?
Well, that's covered it then.
Are they advertising with us?
I've no idea.
And I heard Mackenzie Crook on the news on LBC as I was coming in, and he was saying, oh, you know, this is he's a star of the film, and he was saying, oh, it's fantastic. People are going to love it. Well, he would say that, wouldn't he? Well, what star have you ever heard who's doing publicity for a film saying, well, you know what, it's a bit crap. I wouldn't go and see this. Go and see Titanic instead, or Poseidon Adventure. Hands up who's seen the Poseidon Adventure. No? No. It's not got Shelley Winters in it. Swim, Shelley. Poor dear. Hey, you know what? They're going to ban the England flag. More than that, they're going to change it. Did you hear about this? Shocking. The Daily Mail is stunned. Who buys the Daily Mail, by the way? Is it solely a women's paper? Because it seems it's almost like a women's magazine with pockets of outrage. Helen's looking at me like I've completely lost my mind.
I don't understand why you say it's a women's magazine.
Well, it was just
off in the background.
It was just stuffed with the women's things today. There was a 2-page quiz on what's your skin like. Oh, just look at it and you'll find out. Spent 3 hours filling out a quiz. Just look at it. There it is, all over you. Anyway, the Mail says his dragon-slaying heroics have kept his legend alive through the centuries. Now, everybody should take a grip on their seat on this, because this is shocking. The Church of England is considering rejecting England's patron saint, St. George, on the grounds that his image is too warlike and may offend... Guess. Helen has her hand up.
Daily Mail readers.
Exactly. No, the Daily Mail readers are offended at the story. No, it might offend Muslims. The scheme is to be considered by Church's Parliament, the General Synod. They've met, it's been met with a cautious but sympathetic response from senior bishops, none of whom are gay. There are no gay people in the church. That's the rule. Hands up who thinks that's true? Now, hands up who don't? Well, that's fairly comprehensive. But it clashes with the increasing popularity of the saint and his flag in England. And I noticed that the flags are still fluttering in the cafe downstairs, and on the TV it says, "Come on, England." Now, who is going to surreptitiously take those down? Because it's going to be the end of an era, isn't it? I mean, you see the flags at the corner of your eye and think, oh, yeah, and then the gloom descends upon you. Oh, no, we went out because it was Cristiano Ronaldo's fault. It was his fault, wasn't it? No. So I wonder how long it's going to take. We should do a poll. How long is it going to take to before the "Come on England" flags get taken down? It should have been taken down instantly. The gutters of London are awash with those flashing little flags. Have you noticed? Everyone's taken them off their car and in the gutters now. They should put them in a bin. They should be recycled. You could get your felt tip and make them into a Union flag.
What about the people who've put it across their car? Like those big, the red sticker bit. It's right across the bonnets of their car, I've seen on some of them.
I've never seen that.
Haven't you?
No.
Oh.
Are they the same people who've still got a red nose on the front of their grille? Anyway, more of this. This is incredible. But it clashes with the increasing popularity of the saint and his flag in England. The World Cup brought out millions of St George's crosses. I like to see that, don't you? Because we're not a very overly patriotic nation, really. Well, she's pointing at the clock. 4:13. Adds at 14. Oh, in 15 seconds, you mean? Yes, I haven't got the hang of this at all, have I? I start a thought, and then 1 moment later it has to come to a crashing halt. Oh well, this is 97.3 FM, LBC. I'm Nick Abbott, in for Ian.
It's devastating when...
LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
I'm determined to get through at least one thought before I finish at 6:30, so I'm going to finish this bit if it kills me, or if I have to kill you, Lucy.
Thanks.
So we're back at the... they're going to change... They're thinking of... what's it got to do with them? Our flag. But anyway, this is what they're thinking. They're going to have to change our English flag. The white cross on the red cross on the white cross on a red background, that means you're in trouble. If you get a package with that on it, that means that means you're nowhere near a supermarket. That's fairly accurately what that means. But it clashes with the increasing popularity of the saint and his flag in England. The World Cup brought millions of St George's crosses as the symbol became increasingly mainstream and less frequently dismissed as a badge favoured only by far-right political activists. Which is incredible, really. What other country on the face of the earth would give up their flag because a couple of right-wing nutters have flown it from their foreheads? Crazy. I mean, you think of America, and if the Ku Klux Klan had, well, they do, had used the Stars and Stripes, you think that the whole of America would say, oh, well, we can't use the Stars and Stripes because some right-wing loonies are using it. But in this country, we stopped using it because if you had a St George's cross, then you were, fill in your own description here. We just gave it up. That's pathetic, don't you think? That's weak. This is, we're not weak as a nation like that, are we? I mean, we lose everything, but we should keep a grip of some things, like on our flag is one of them. Our identity, our will to lose, that sort of thing.
You had 4 on your car, didn't you?
I didn't have any. No, I couldn't find a place to fit them. I haven't got an aerial, and my windows don't have surrounds,
What sort of car do you drive?
Never mind.
Sounds very odd.
Well, the glass doesn't actually sit in a surround. It just closes against the body of the door. And those flags needed a surround to jam it up against.
I know what you mean.
That's my excuse. Of course, I could have got one of those bonnet things and covered my whole car in a flag. But, that wouldn't go down well where I live. Anyway, if St Alban replaced St George, this new saint, well, he's not a new one, quite obviously, he's ancient, he's dead now, no one even knew he was ill. If he replaces St George, they're going to have to change our flag, because it's the flag of St George, yes? So the white cross, I keep saying, the red cross on a white background, is going to be changed to a diagonal yellow cross on a blue background. What does that sound like? The Scottish flag. Theirs is white on blue, and ours would be yellow on blue, which would really confuse the Union flag, wouldn't it?
Or a bit like Sweden. Are they yellow and blue?
Well, one of the butters is, and I think it comes from Sweden, doesn't it? You're taking on board that information, so, yes, that's quite right. Got no idea. Yeah, I'm sure, isn't it? I'm sure that one of them has got, anyway, that's going to be ours. Now, hands up who wants a yellow diagonal on a blue background. No, you don't, Helen. Put your hand down. Or is it you want the toilet? The proposal has been put forward by the Reverend Philip Chester, Vicar of St Matthew's in Westminster, who has called the use of St George as patron saint Dotty. The saint became an English hero during the Crusades against the Muslim armies that captured Jerusalem in the 11th century. An apparition of George is said to have appeared to the Crusader army at the Battle of Antioch in 1098. Right. His dragon-slaying legend is thought to have begun as an analog. Who cares? But anyway, this Reverend Philip of Westminster has said that our use of St George as a patron saint is dotty, his word. His call for a change is based on the lack of firm historical evidence that George ever existed. What, unlike God, you mean? Tricia!
Hello.
Hey, Tricia.
I'm Tricia. Can you hear me?
You're Tricia, so I don't have to be. Yes. Go ahead, Tricia.
And 64 million in this country.
I'm sorry, can you start again, or go to a window, or pick a new phone? Have you got a landline?
You can.
Oh, it's not going to work, is it? No, it's mobile phone technology. It's great, isn't it? What would we do without it? We'd be in phone boxes smelling of, yes. Completely lost her.
Nick, I think she said she didn't mind the blue and yellow flag.
No, I don't think she said that at all.
She did.
I think you're lying about that. So our poll update is, most of the people who've voted on our poll think that their mothers would do a better job than Sven-Göran Eriksson as captain of England. The list is, who do you think would do a better job than Sven? Steve McLaren, the bloke that we're stuck with. And then there's a trio of managers who we'd like to have, but probably couldn't afford. Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho and Arsene Wenger, all of whom could probably do a decent job. And then I thought, why not have player managers? Because the manager doesn't actually do anything. And like I said, the German manager, who seems to be doing a fantastic job, their team will probably, it'll probably be Germany and France in the final. And I wouldn't be surprised if Germany got it. For old time's sake, I'd like France to get it, because Zinedine Zidane has just been lighting up the tournament. His skill is incredible, and he's going to be giving up soon, so it'd be nice to give him one last, touch of the gold. So I thought, player manager, it seems reasonable. All you've got to do is pick the team, and then they play football. Steven Gerrard and John Terry. Obvious choices, right? And then give it to Wayne Rooney, perhaps, because it would make him grow up as a person, just like it did with Bex. Or, do you think that your mother could do a better job than Sven? And it's that suggestion that is way out in the lead now, with 48% of the votes already cast at lbc.co.uk. Hit the on-air button that's more or less at the top, go down to... I know this is really weird, but this is what you've got to do. And go down to Saturdays, which is where I normally sit, and then click on my name, which is Nick Abbott, and then the poll thing will come up, and then vote. I know that's like about 56 different things you have to go through just to take part in a silly poll. But if you go ahead and do it, then you'll have gone ahead and done it. And that's the truth. Here's Dulwich. Hello, Dennis.
Hi, how you doing?
All right, thanks.
On the subject of the saint and all that, I think the reason why they want to change the saint is because I think they found out that he was of Arab descent, St. George. Don't know how true that is. But
isn't it also true that most saints of countries don't actually come from those countries? Bizarrely.
Yeah, bizarrely, yeah.
I say that with confidence of someone who has got no idea what he's talking about. But if you say it out loud, even more so if you write it down, it becomes the truth.
Yeah, I think so. But I just wanted to just throw that one in.
No, but don't you think it's a little late to change it now?
I mean, yeah, because people, they knew that represented whatever they did back in the day. How come all of a sudden now it doesn't mean anything anymore?
Yeah, and it's a little extraordinary that the people in the church are thinking of doing this without asking us about it. Don't you think that we should be asked?
Yeah, we think we should consult. It's democracy, and it's about us, supposed to be about people anyway, but...
It's a democracy. Well, it's an interesting thought, Dennis. If we ever try it over here, then I'll let you know, all right?
OK, mate.
Thanks a lot. Ta-ra. We're going to have someone foisted upon us as our Prime Minister soon, and we won't have voted... and no one will have voted for him. No one. What kind of a democracy is that?
Terror.
Helen has left for half an hour to take a break. Is it for health and safety reasons?
Absolutely.
She can't go for 86 hours continuously on the air.
Otherwise her hands will fall off.
Yes. She can't operate heavy machinery for 3 days continuously and has to be relieved every now and again. She's off to get relief.
Yeah.
And Gary is now here. It's like a hot seat change. How you doing?
I'm not too bad.
Great. Are you sick of talking about football yet?
Nope.
Angry Steven Gerrard last night hit out a disgusting Cristiano Ronaldo over his part in Wayne Rooney's World Cup dismissal. You see, what? Mike Live, 29:45. Oh!
On FM.
On the...
Travel news on LBC 97.3. Oh, Joanne Webb.
On the North Circular Road, just received an update here in the LBC 97.
Advising you not to go to the film. Pirates of the Caribbean. They went for a sneak preview themselves, and it was the police said it was the only film they'd ever seen that sucked and blew at the same time. That's your official word from Her Majesty's Constabulary. Do not go and see that film unless they're advertising with us, in which case everyone should buy 2 tickets and throw away one and go and use the other one. Absolutely, no question. So the results so far, a full 50% of the people that have voted think that their mother could do a better job than Sven-Göran Eriksson. Jose Mourinho comes second, then Alex Ferguson, followed by... Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger are even Stevens, as they are in real life. Steve McLaren is a lowly 5th. Oh, poor bloke. 6% of the people who are listening to this show who bothered to vote, which is a perfect representation of the country as a whole. Only 6% of the people think that the bloke that we're actually saddled with should be doing the job. That's awful. Of course, results speak volumes, and as soon as we start winning, hands up anybody who thinks we'll start winning anytime soon. No one. Everyone's still sitting on their fingers. Wayne Rooney to grow the man up, also at 6%. Steven Gerrard at 3%. That seems unfair. All the way down there. And John Terry also on 3%. No one has any confidence in either of those two being player managers. Their mother, however, everyone thinks their mother could do a better job. Well, you know what? We could all do a better job in retrospect. We could all, pick it apart and say, well, you shouldn't have done this and you should have done that. And maybe you shouldn't have played Wayne Rooney at all, because when he wasn't on the pitch, that was the best spell of play that we ever had. The best play that portion of play that we had in this World Cup was when Wayne Rooney wasn't on the pitch. And there was only 10 men. Maybe we should only play with 10 men. It'd be like the Dam Buster spirit. Did anybody hear any song other than England, 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 and the Dam Buster theme tune sung by the crowd? Because there was this flurry of songs that came out before we went, including one by Embrace. It was so boring you could forget it while you were listening to it. Try and whistle that song right now. I'll give you £1 million if you can do it. You can't. And Sham 69, Jimmy Percy, the voice of a generation, he translated Hurry Up Harry, which is a great song, into Hurry Up England. And I can't forget, I have forgotten and can't remember what the other ones are.
There was,
No one cares. The point is that the crowd didn't care either. There was no song by anybody that the crowd actually picked up and went with.
It's the Tony Christie one I was trying to think of.
Show Me the Way to Amarillo.
Yeah, but he did it to,
England for the World Cup, it was. The same tune.
Show Me the Way to England for the World Cup.
No, it was England for the World Cup.
England for the World Cup. Da, 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 da.
Is that the singing voice that you used over the weekend?
No. You'll be pleased to know.
So what were you singing at the weekend? Where were you?
I was singing Brahms' Requiem.
Oh, that's very good. One of my favourites, so we'll be hearing a bit of that right now. Off you go.
No.
Oh, go on.
No.
Well, which bit? How does it go?
Well, there's quite a lot to sing, really. It would take me about 45 minutes, and you wouldn't want to hear it.
How does it start? It goes...
How does it go?
Go on, Brahms' Requiem. Here we go. Just a bit of it now.
No.
Oh, go on, please.
No, I
I'm
can't.
begging you. I'm on my knees begging you, just for a bit.
No, I'm too expensive.
Do you charge?
No, I don't.
You're an amateur singer.
Yeah.
This would be the biggest audience you've ever had. There's a full...
Yeah, it was full house.
Here, right now, will be the biggest audience you've ever had.
Oh, yes, it would be,
Please, Lucy.
No.
I'll persuade you to do it in before 5 o'clock. I know that I will.
OK, you try.
All right, here's Penge. Richard.
Oh, yes, good afternoon. This business with changing our national flag, taking this a logical step further, does this mean that the cross of St George, i.e. the red cross on the white background, would that suddenly overnight become some sort of illegal insignia, or what?
Yes, you haven't been listening to this show, have you? But yes, apparently.
Admittedly, I did only not long ago tune into it. But,
no. But apparently, if we change our saint, we also have to change our flag. And the new flag will be, are you ready? A diagonal yellow cross on a blue background.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of that.
Well, to be perfectly honest, for myself personally, I'm really all that worried. What the national flag is it? But
you're not that
bothered. Suddenly crosses my mind that everybody has been waving the cross of St George in the air. I mean, they suddenly have the politically correct police jumping on them saying, "Oh, illegal insignia," sort of thing.
Right, you're predicting fines.
Well,
they fine us for everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, you're probably right, Richard.
Well, I hope I'm not, but it was just a horrible thought that sprung to my mind.
Keep your outrage in check. You're getting too worked up.
I'm afraid I do let things...
Really? You don't sound the type who would let things get to you. You sound a bit laid back.
Oh, perhaps that's my trouble. Perhaps I lay back too long, then come in all guns blazing.
You sound like the type who would let it build up inside them and you get a tumour of the brain. You want to let it out every now and again, Richard.
What, my brain?
When was the last time you let it out?
Oh, now,
Can't think back that
who
far.
was presenting? I think it was
with us, was it?
The morning show, I think, yeah. That was the last time
It was the last time you let it out. You let it out with Nick. Well, that's an excellent choice. Thanks a lot, Richard. Ta-da,
all
mate.
right, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
So, the space programme is possibly grinding to a halt. Can anybody believe it? In the news, they've found a crack in the foam, which is going to delay the launch of the shuttle and potentially ground the space programme. And no one cares. When was the last time we were interested in the space programme? Seriously, the last time anybody turned on the news in order to see it was when the rocket blew up. You know, it's the same kind of mentality as why people watch Formula One. You only watch Formula One to see people crash, be honest. And right enough, it did over the weekend. In America, lots of them. And they played that short clip on the news where the car tumbled over and over and over. And that was the only thing that and your interest in that sport ceased the moment that clip stopped, am I right? Because they just go around and around and around and around, and it's just boring. How Bernie Ecclestone, how that short lump got to acquire that much money from a sport that boring? I mean, can anybody figure that out? Are you gearing yourself up to do a song? There's going to be 19 minutes to go.
I've just been warming up. Yeah.
Excellent. Here's Hendon. Hello, Anna.
Hello. This thing about the flag, I don't understand it. I mean, I'm not Christian. My family lived here for 2 generations before me. Well, actually 1.5. And we just accept the fact that the Cross of St George and the Union Jack represent this country. I mean, you could say that we could be offended by the fact that it's a cross, because we don't have a religion that has a cross.
Now, you've only been here for 2 generations. Have the locals accepted you yet?
I have no idea. I don't understand why we have to, everything that's part of a country has to not offend a small proportion of the population.
This is only a recent phenomenon, isn't it? We're
it certainly is. I mean,
tiptoeing around everyone so as not to cause offence.
Nobody worried whether they offended them or not. They just said you should be really lucky to be here. End of story.
You know, my grandparents.
Lucky to be here.
My grandparents had a dog. It was the colour black. You know what they called it? That's right. Don't say it on the air. And they were out the back shouting over the allotments the N-word because it was a black dog. They were saying, shouting it.
But
in Welsh Wales.
But why are we learning anything about our history then? Because everything about our history might offend us that went on hundreds of years ago because people were more brutal then.
Anna, everything is offensive to someone.
Well, I'm sorry, then we shouldn't pander to it. It's rubbish. This country has a flag. It has 3 different crosses on it, all of which originally stemmed presumably from the Christian religion. People who aren't Christian over generations don't feel offended by it. It just doesn't have any religious significance for us, that's all.
And you're offended by that?
No, I'm not least bit offended by it. I'm offended by the fact that other people seem to think we should change our way of life.
Exactly. You're offended that people are offended. How dare they?
I'm very happy to welcome people to this country, you know, but why should we change everything? Presumably they came here because we have the freedom to do these things. So why are they trying to restrict them, all the freedoms that we have, to make them like the countries they came from. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, this isn't going to happen, okay? You understand that this actually isn't going to happen, but that they're talking about it and saying that if they make the decision, then we're going to have to change the flag. I mean, that seems a little out of touch, don't you think?
It's the silly season and the papers are taking a flyer at it.
You're quite right. It is the silly season. And nothing's happened in the... no one's had sex in the Big Brother house. Not over here, anyway. In Australia, they have. I'll read that story in a minute.
It's so boring, I never watched Big Brother.
Oh, come on, Anna. Give it a go.
No, I did once. For the first one. I watched for 10 minutes, then I went back to watching my paint dry.
Well, yeah. It's like a soap. You've got to continue watching. Oh, 50 seconds. An extra 1 second of Phil. There you go.
So you're saying we don't get our gas...
Murray, and he's playing a great game, isn't he? Unlike Andy Murray, who got knocked out again. He's taking over Timmy's job as our chief number one loser. Does anybody think that we can win anything apart from cricket, which no one cares about?
I think tennis we could do better at.
Rubbish. Well, yes.
We can,
well,
but he's
could
only
do
19.
Better, yes.
But he's 19, so he's still got a chance, hasn't he?
Well, Boris was 12 when he won Wimbledon. That's actually true.
But not adult Wimbledon.
I think, yeah, he was 17.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
It can be done.
If you're a winner.
Well, he does seem to have a bit more of a winning streak in him, though, doesn't he?
Well, by that you mean that he's louder.
He looks a little bit more aggressive.
Yes, and this was the thing with the England captain. We want somebody who's more aggressive. We want somebody like Big Phil Scolari, who looks like he's about to burst a blood vessel at any minute. Someone who could die trying to manage your team, rather than somebody who looks like... And I think that part of it is a class thing. Sven is obviously, patently, see-through-ish middle class, right? What we actually want, apparently, as a nation, because football is a very working-class sport. If it was rugger, then they could conceivably be middle class. The most comical thing that I see on the sports thing is when rugby players are interviewed, because this guy will suddenly, and he looks like something that would appear in the fruit and vegetable section in Waitrose. I mean, he's all cauliflower ears and a tomato nose, and he looks like he's had an argument with the JCB. And then he talks as though he's a lawyer or a doctor or something. This voice comes out of this horrific apparition, and you think, good grief, there's a human being under all that cartilage and scar tissue. But, yes. And so I think the part of it is that we didn't like him because he was middle class, which is really weird. He didn't shout enough. And you know, one of the reasons that in fact, the reason that Big Phil said he wasn't going to come over here? Portugal boss Big Phil Scolari has revealed the reason that he shunned England. Does anybody know what this is? That's right. Gary Lineker. It's his fault. You're looking stunned, Gary. Not you, Gary Lineker. You know Gary Lineker. He's the bloke that sells the fat-laden snacks to obese children. Yeah, that one. Mm-hmm. Using his image as a super fit athlete to peddle fatty snacks to morbidly obese children. Yeah, Gary Lineker. Nation's in love with him. Scolari told a Portuguese newspaper, I was very inclined to advance with negotiations to be our England captain, but on the plane from Lisbon I read the English and Portuguese newspapers and thought a lot about things which annoyed me. I saw people like Gary Lineker saying his granny would have won the World Cup with Brazil. Well, he's probably right. Because all you have to do is, like I keep saying, I know nothing about football, but this much I do know. All you have to do is you pick the players, and the players go and play the football. As a manager, you sit on the sidelines and shout and bellow, you can do anything you like. But if you're managing a national team, you can do it from another country. I mean, the German fella's doing a spectacular job. I bet they win it. And you know what? Big Phil doesn't seem that sensitive to me. Does anybody believe that that's actually the reason why? Because Gary Lineker made a jibe that Brazil was so great that anybody could have led them to victory? Well, that's ridiculous. Oh, come on, Phil, who are you trying to kid? Maybe you should go in for a less bitchy and debilitating sport. Like women's tennis, for instance. No bitchiness in women's tennis, I bet there isn't. Or you could maybe be a Big Brother housemate. There's no bitchiness in there either. Have you started watching Big Brother there, Lucy?
No, still not.
Not a moment.
No.
Good for you. You stick to your principles. Here's one in Tower Bridge. Hello, Tony.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Listen, I've only just tuned in because I'm a chauffeur and I had a client on board, and we've been talking about the football. And there's a couple of things that come up. Number one, right? terrific when we lose because we're embarrassed because we were rubbish, right? And so we can complain as much as we like, but we all know that we were rubbish, all right? And those players, those people that held 100 million people's gazes, including that fat boy Rooney, right? If they were depending upon Rooney to win the blimmin' World Cup for them, I don't know why we bother to pay the other people hundreds of thousands of pounds a year to even turn up. You know, and the other thing I would like to have a little rant about is that the blimmin' England manager, right, if he says to Beckham, I want you to play in goal, Beckham would play in goal. But he doesn't. He puts the players where he thinks that they're going to be better off playing. But if during the course of the game they can see that fat boy Rooney can't cope with the pace of the game, you'd imagine, wouldn't you, as fully grown men capable of driving 4x4s and having endless nights out with different models, that they would change the formation to suit them bleeding selves. I mean, they're supposed to be playing football for England and not for themselves. You know, and I'm disappointed with England, and I hope that Portugal go on to win the blimmin' World Cup and show that they were really, really capable. Otherwise, in will come the old conspiracy theory that FIFA has managed the whole World Cup to appease itself and the bookies.
You know what, Tony? If I ever meet you in a bar, I absolutely promise I will not spill your pints, because you'd probably take me out and kill me.
Well, I used to be an ex-boxer, and
See?
I tell you what, mate. If I know next to nothing about football, but if I was stood in a changing room with England, I would have them people believing that they're there for the good of the nation, and they ain't there for the good of Vogue. All right? So you go out there, you score a goal, or I swear to God you'll have to drag me through the courts because I will not pay you for prattling about. I want you to go out there and score goals. You know, other teams can do it, you can do it. And if fat boy Rooney can't play football, I'll take him and my love interest and I'll send them both back home and put on somebody like Andy Johnson for 10 minutes who is capable of playing football. And Sven Eriksson has basically mugged us, and we have mugged ourselves. So the next English coach that comes along better have some idea about how to motivate people. You don't even know how to play football, you can still motivate them.
Hey, Tony,
I wouldn't pay the bloody sods. I wouldn't pay them to
Hey,
come
Tony.
out there and come
Hey,
back
Tony.
and say we
Tony,
lost.
have you started sweating since the start of this phone call?
Property investors.
That was the best call I've ever had. Excellent. Thanks very much, mate. Because he started the call by saying that he was a chauffeur or a driver or something like that, and he just dropped a client off. And I thought, oh, that's a nice a client. That's what he said, wasn't it? Or was it even more posh than that? And I thought, oh, that's a nice phrase to use. And I thought, oh, I'm in for an easy ride with this fella. And then he turned into, well, a Doberman, or a bulldog, actually, more accurately, and he started to bite my face off. And he just went on and on and on. Every word he said was correct, but he's not the kind of bloke that you'd like to meet in a dark alley, right? Or in a crowded pub, because if you did spill his pint, then woe betide you. If Wayne Rooney spilled his pint, then Fat Boy would know, he would be giving him a piece of his mind. In fact, pieces of Wayne Rooney would be all over the place they'd be. He'd be picking them up with a bucket. How many pieces do you think you could get out of Wayne Rooney?
Oh, a lot.
And am I right in thinking that Frank Lampard was carrying a bit of weight? He just looked a bit weighty in the face.
Bit.
Yeah. And when he took his shirt off to swap it with somebody else, either that was a tire of muscle around his waist, or he was carrying a little extra fat. That's just a thought. Because everybody else looked like, they looked, svelte, like athletes. Even svelte Göran Eriksson looked thin. But Frank, he looked like, I don't know, maybe too many pie. Maybe Frank had eaten all the pies. Him and, that dreary singer that everyone's in love with. What's the name of that bloke? Let Me Entertain You, Angels, that bloke. Robbie Williams. Oh, Struth, when is he going to dry up and blow away? Hands up anybody who wants to hear anything more from Robbie Williams. Oh, there goes every hand in the country. I guess I'm on my own about that one. Hello, Erica.
Hello. Lovely to hear you. Anyway, Ian must be on holiday, isn't it?
Yes.
Anyway, nice to talk to you as well. It's a lovely, very good station. And you're talking about the English flag and whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think Britain should carry on and use it wherever it's possible, because, we should be proud of it. Even so, I was born in Austria, but I live in England now for 48 years, and that's my home country, and I love it.
Right, well, thanks a lot, Erica. So it took an Austrian to tell us that we should be proud about ourselves. An Austrian and a foaming at the mouth driver called Tony. Good for the both of you.
On FO 90973.
Nick Abbott.
So you probably don't want to hear this, with the temperature being, 186 degrees outside, and people's faces are melting right off the front of their heads, but I had to just put clothes on because I'm too cold in here. I'm the only person in London who's actually putting more items of clothing on than rather than taking them off. Helen's back. Back from her little break. How's the break?
It was good.
What did you do?
Sent an email off, went to the loo, made a cup of tea, finished my dinner. Oh, hang on.
You've got to go right up to it.
Oh, sorry. There's another one, I'll do it.
There is another one in a moment, yes. I'll let you have that one yourself. So, a cup of tea, email, went to the loo, yes, a little too much information. You could have left that one out.
A couple of people said hello to me.
Oh, really? And how were they?
Okay.
Here you go. Up to it. You're rubbish at this. I don't mean that nastily either. I mean that in a nice way. Rubbish in a nice way. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't sound like much of a break. It sounds like you were working for most of it. Emails you sent? Were they work emails?
No.
Were you using a works computer to send private emails?
Yep.
Hello, Leo. You're in Islington. You know that.
Oh, I am indeed. Hi. Hi, Nick.
Hello, Leo.
Hi.
Oh, let me just say, it is a new hour, so I better just point out what's going on here. Ian Lee is having a lie down. Where is he?
I wonder.
No, I'm not asking you. Hang on a minute, Leo. I haven't finished yet.
Sorry.
Please forgive me one moment. I just have to interject this important information. Ian Lee's on... Where is he?
He's in Centre Parks, I believe. Is that right, Helen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
With Chris.
What?
Agent Chris.
They went to Centre Parks.
Together.
On holiday.
Right. Well, that's cosy.
Glad you asked.
No, I wish I hadn't now. Anyway, he's away. And he's out. He's coming out and will be back straight afterwards. And I'm Nick Abbott. If you bust me in from Saturday nights, no one else was around, really. It scoured the building. I happened to be passing the front of the building at the time that they were looking, and they said, "Oi, mate, do you know anything about radio?" And I said, "Well, I've got one in the car." And now I'm here. Leo.
Hi. That's funny. Yes, I'd like to talk to you about... let's start with Ronaldo first.
Let's start with what, sorry?
Start with Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Is that how you say it?
Yes, it's how you say it.
Because you're Portuguese, right?
I am indeed.
And so you say Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
I never knew that.
Not Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
But anyhow, that woman called earlier, she really did infuriated me because of the way she obviously did not see the game. Because she would have seen that Carvalho was kicked in a private bit.
In the Guildfords, yes.
Yes, that's the word you used earlier. And, I'm not a man, but if you as a man, if he would hurt like hell, I think. Oh, excuse me, I shouldn't have said that.
What, hell?
I don't know.
Because it would offend people who are frightened of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Offend people who live in Southend.
Absolutely, yes.
They've got enough of it surrounding them, yeah. Southend.
Probably, that's probably not so fair, but...
Anyway, Ronaldo.
Yes. He did something wrong, like the winking and whatever else he did, but I would have thought that if the incident was with an English guy, one of the footballers, and one of the colleagues would go to him and, would go to the referee and complain.
Yeah, they do that all the time. All the players do it all the time. And in some of the papers they were saying, what was wrong with the England players? It wasn't that we were crap on the pitch. It's that we didn't cheat enough. We're too honest for our own goods. That's why we're out of the World Cup, they said.
That's one of the... Yes, that's right. English people are too honest and too nice.
Right.
But having said that, I feel a bit angry because most of the newspapers are making him the villain, Cristiano. And I think, the other guy is a bully. He went to the other one. Yes, there is some reports about what he did was wrong and all that, but they're making out like the Portuguese team was all bad.
Yeah, I know. What they're doing is that they're not accepting the consequences of their own actions. Wayne doesn't accept it, and we as a nation aren't accepting it, which is weak. It's actually pathetic, isn't it?
Absolutely. This is what I think. I mean, I know I live in England, and I was supporting England with other teams. Obviously, on Saturday I would have to support my team, my country.
Yeah.
But I would not go out and make trouble for anybody. If my country lost, it's the way the game is. Football is like that. But what I think is that the English can't admit that they're not so good in big competition.
I think we're having a hard time coming to terms with the fact that we lose everything. Yeah, well, can't we win just one thing, please, once?
But the other thing is that if they're blaming Scolari, yes, he is a bit of a bully, maybe, but he brings good
luck.
Yes,
Yes.
Let's just say that, yeah. And you have that. I don't even know. I don't even have a name to describe that man. But the most repelling person on English football, to me, as a woman,
Now, before you say it, Leo, let's take a poll in the booth here. Who do you think that she's going to say is the most repellent person in British football?
Rooney.
Helen. Oh, Rooney. Okay, now Helen.
I only know two names,
okay,
so
name
it's
one.
either David Beckham or Wayne Rooney.
Oh, okay, we're going for Wayne Rooney, Leo.
No, he's gorgeous.
He's gorgeous, see?
No. And Rooney is not so ugly, but I would say Ronaldo is much handsome than Rooney. But no, I meant Sven Eriksson.
Oh, Sven.
Yes, I mean, he's so repellent. Who in God's name goes with that man?
Oh, well, let's make a list, shall we? Hey, Leo, you know what? We're coming hard up against the ads, but I agree with absolutely everything you just said. All right, thanks a lot.
There's something else I needed to tell you.
Well, can you do it in 5 seconds?
Yes. What happened was on Saturday night, after they lost, some crazy people went to my window
and you know what? We'll never know. Sporting woes are just piling up. We can't stand it. We get knocked out of the World Cup because of, it wasn't, how did you pronounce it? Ronaldo. It's not Ronaldo's fault. And you know what that nice lady was about to say? Was that some moron went and vandalised her house? Was it her house?
Yes.
What an idiot. Like it's her fault. That's just beyond stupid, isn't it? Sorry I had to cut her off, but, I was under instruction. That's the beauty of working on a Saturday night when no one's listening. Great acres of space in which to just let thoughts run. Here it's, as soon as a thought starts, and then in the back of my brain, it's chopped off before it gets to the front. Almost before it gets out of my mouth. Yes, but it's not Ronaldo's fault. It certainly wasn't that nice lady's fault. What an idiot. Whoever it was should hang his head in shame. Did you see David Beckham? In a previous match he actually threw up.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And when they did this on the beat, here's the story. David Beckham had plenty to feel sick about last night. This was a couple of days ago. After a stomach-churning attack from a German paper, he was mocked for throwing up at the Ecuador game and dubbed David Breckham after the German word for vomit, which is Brecken. Nice. Vile rag built. This is the Sun who's reporting this, right? Vile rag built. Even hurled abuse at the England team by suggesting Beck's chucked up because they played such sickening soccer. The paper, which has already called his sister Joanne a fat pig and his children dwarves, gave a whole page to the attack in its cup section. Under the banner headline, David Breckham, an anonymous sports writer... anonymous. Like, he wasn't man enough to tell us who he was. An anonymous sports writer sniped, was he thinking about his wife's credit card bill? Says the Sun is disgusted that any newspaper would sink to such depths. That's what the Sun says. Ugh. I wonder if Tony, our nice man who was foaming at the mouth before, I can't even remember when it was, it felt like hours ago, who was virtually biting all of our heads off. We were getting
it was
spit.
About half an hour ago.
Yeah, we were getting spit on our faces from him. He was so angry. He was entertaining, but angry. What do you reckon? He reads The Sun or The Guardian? Hands up, who thinks he reads The Sun? Guardian? That's overwhelming. Like The Sun would never attack anybody because they're nice. It's the nice paper. That's going to be their new campaign. We're loving it because they're nice. But the BBC demurred. What am I going for? They didn't do it. They didn't show it. They showed Bex bending over at the waist, and then we cut back to Gary Lineker, and he said, "Oh, that was the edited version," and everybody had a laugh about that in the studio because you don't actually want to see vomit coming out of it.
I did.
You did want to see it?
But I thought that was the best bit about the match.
And then I switched over to ITV, and they not only showed vomit coming out of what appeared to be his nose and his mouth, but they showed it in slow motion. Can you believe
Fantastic.
that? It's like they made the decision, first of all, they got sat around a table and said, right, well, this is pretty awful, do we want to show this? Because they weren't actually showing the match, this was clips from the previous match just before another one started. And they said, this is what happened earlier on. And they must have thought, oh, shall we show it? Oh, it's a bit horrible. Yeah, OK, because it's an important national story, right? Our captain is throwing up while he's playing football. And then he single-handedly saved us and got us through that match, which we should have probably lost anyway, and we were rubbish. And they thought, yeah, OK, we'll show it. Right, thumbs up for that, excellent. And then somebody got the idea of saying, right, OK, well, how about we show it in slow motion? Yeah! That'll really boost the ratings. Slow motion vomiting.
Brilliant. That's like the marathon, do you remember?
No.
Yes, you do, with What's-Her-Chops, when she had to...
Paula.
Yeah, Paula had to stop
whom?
off for a little tinkle on the way.
That
What?
was a poo.
Oh, no! Paula Radcliffe?
Had a poo.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you can't say that.
No.
She just did.
No, Helen, don't say that word.
She did, she had a poo.
It's truth.
She always lowers the tone.
Speaking of which... And Lucy's holding her head in her hands. I'll get to that in a minute. Remind me.
Something filthy on its way?
Something about poo.
Oh.
In fact, it's Tipsy Whipsy, Dipsy, Lala and poo. But I'll get to that in a minute. Hey, Rob.
Oh, hello, babe. Wouldn't your ideal job being editing The Sun or something?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No,
I
think
it, but love it.
I think
Right.
I'd last a day.
Oh, I've always dreamt about it.
You
Me and
dreamt,
Richard Bacon.
you dreamt about editing The Sun.
Not literally in my dreams, but thought about it. It'd be amusing.
You know what? It's probably a very, very hard job to do. It's probably it might even be more difficult than editing a broadsheet, because broadsheets you just get good writers to write good pieces, and then you get sub-editors to check them for spelling mistakes and so on, and then you just stick them in a paper. Not much thought required. But tabloids, you almost have to be an entertainer and come up with stuff like putting Ronaldo's face on a dartboard and cunning wheezes like that.
Oh, and the headline writers, that must be a good job. How do you apply for that position?
I don't know, but they do come up with some good ones. What was The Sun today? They just went with Wayne's I'm going to split him in two, which is just the kind of attitude that got him into trouble in the first place. That boy won't learn.
What's he going to split him in two with?
I don't know, a fierce gaze, something like that.
Okay. I'm interviewing His Royal Highness Prince Charles tomorrow.
Get away.
Well, sort of. He's coming to my university, and dear wife. And because I'm head of the news now, I'm trying to throw some questions at him.
You're head of news at your university radio station. Is he actually going to grant you an interview?
Well, he might do. I look cute. Hello! He might come over to me or his wife will or something.
Huh.
I'm hoping, I don't know what to ask him. Any ideas? I'm also thinking, just in case something really bad happens, like an assassination or something, I'll be able to cover it first. And
Yeah, you'll be right on the scene. Yeah.
Exactly.
Make sure you got your mobile phone camera charged up.
Oh, I've downgraded. I've gone back to a really old-fashioned phone now.
What, the only phones? Yeah.
Awful kind of.
I don't think they exist anymore, do they?
20 quid.
Ask him about his treacle tarts. Ask him how he got the pastry to be so crumbly and light and delicious. And how the treacly thing tastes, has just that perfect hint of lemon. Oh, Struth, they're beyond historic. They're fantastic.
I'll throw that question at him.
Yeah. Ask him if all of the money from his food products goes to charity, or whether he keeps a sly amount for himself. Just put it to him.
Oh, I'm sure not.
Ask him why he married Di.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll do that.
Yeah, you'll be wrestled to the ground and marched into a distant field where you'll surprisingly commit suicide.
I'll be lucky to get on my own campus tomorrow, be surrounded, and
yes.
Be a nightmare.
There'll be sharp shooters ready to take you out if you put a word wrong.
One to think about. You're going to the Egypt Centre.
Ask him if he's going to do anything, if he's passed on any recommendations for hair loss to his son. Ask him why Harry hasn't lost any of his hair.
You know, talking about Harry, and you've always mentioned it, but you've always questioned his parenthood.
No, I have never done that.
Okay, and some people have.
I've reported that others have.
But what people should remember is that he is ginger, yes, Charlie isn't ginger, but his uncle is ginger.
Well, you know what? The other one, the first in line, William, got his hair shorn. Ads at 27:30. Oh, Struth! No sooner did you start a sentence, you got to stop.
Bye.
Okay, ta-da. But he had his hair shorn as well, and he's a ginger too. Right, how long have I got?
35 seconds. 35 seconds.
Oh, really? Oh, I said that as a joke. I've only got 35 seconds. Oh, blimey. All right, what shall I do? Oh, it's nice out, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it's a bit hot, but I mustn't grumble.
Are you going to read something?
Well, I was, but I haven't got time now. Hey, I'll do the update on the poll, right? Another 15 seconds, is that right? Okay, the poll, if you go to lbc.co.uk and you go to On Air and you go to Saturday, which is where I normally sit, and you go to My Name, a poll comes up. Who would do a better job than Sven? And right out in the lead so far is your mother.
On FM.
Hi, here's your travel with Joanne Webb.
We're just hearing from the police here in the...
LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
You know, the Scottish, or if you really want to upset them, Scotch people, get very upset when we take one of theirs as one of ours, because in the news there it was saying that Andy Murray, the Brit Andy Murray, has been knocked out of Wimbledon. He's a loser. Well, he's actually Scotch. He's a Scotch person. When when an English person does it, we say he's English. And if he's Welsh or Scottish, we say he's British. And they get very upset about that. Hey, you, they say.
Well, at least we're not calling him a Scot now he's lost.
Oh, well, actually, yes, there will probably be yes.
A
That's
Brit
exactly
while he's
what they
winning.
will do, yeah, the news team will be, ears will prick up. Oh, yeah. And Jenson Button hasn't won anything, and we've been knocked out of the World Cup, and I'm assuming the cricket's going badly. I've got no idea. No one cares about cricket, am I right?
I went to see some cricket yesterday.
You did not.
I did, but it was 2020 cricket.
What's that?
Well, it means it's only 20 overs, so it's quick. So the whole thing
that's
was...
the best thing about cricket,
Yeah,
is if
I didn't
it's
really watch
over
it.
really quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're having a walk, and you stumbled on a cricket match. You didn't actually go there to watch it, am I right?
No, I did. Well, I did go there. I did pay for a ticket, but I only did because there was a whole gang of us, and we took food and drink.
A gang?
Yeah.
Were you wearing hoodies?
Of course. No.
I love in the news that the police have been telling people not to go to Pirates of the Caribbean in Leicester Square. Well, quite right too. Because if it's even remotely as bad as Pirates of the Caribbean 1, then that's good advice. But that it's a police matter. Even the police are getting in on the act to tell you not to go and see that film. At the beginning of the film, when you go and see it in Leicester Square, there'll be a policeman at the front with a foghorn saying, "Nothing to see here. Please disperse." I've got to go there after this. I've got to go and do a show. Another 86 hours on the air, continuously. I'm not going to get within 10 miles. How you doing, Helen?
I was going to say, can we not go because it's too hot? To Leicester Square. Is that why we can't go?
I think there's just too many people.
And it's too hot.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Who would stand outside there, and I just don't get it. Like, you go all the way there for what? They don't want people to go there because there's going to be an incident. About halfway through the film, even Johnny Depp will be asking for his money back. There'll be fights breaking out in the box office, and, it'll be a nightmare. Hello, Jethro.
Hi.
Jethro.
I think of the solution to this depression, post not winning the competition depression, which you keep on about, is these things do is just enter competitions where there's just one team, so you're guaranteed to win, or one competitor, you know.
That's the way it's going in schools, isn't it? No one's allowed to lose anything. Competitive sports are banned because someone might lose, and that would be abusing their human rights.
Yeah. I can't offend anyone. Yes, because I really think 32 teams got to the finals, didn't they? There's one prize, and so let's work it out. A bit of maths here, difficult. 31 teams and they go away disappointed because they didn't win.
That's right.
Are they all failures, or are they just good sports for competing? Because it'd be very dull if only one team turned up. Who are we going to play? Let's play the grass. That's a good idea. I'm trying to make a bit of a point here.
They couldn't have been worse if they were smoking the grass. Yeah, quite frankly. It was awful. It was embarrassing. I mean, if we had got through, we would have met France. Now, who honestly believes that we would have got out of a match with France in their current form without being deeply embarrassed? It would have been 10-0. I mean, if we'd just played Zinedine Zidane, we'd have lost.
Yeah, well, I think they probably resurrected Napoleon, and they played a very clever game of fooling everyone that they're useless at the beginning, and then suddenly turning it on by bringing on the old guard.
Yeah, like a pool shark. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all a deceptive ploy.
The wily French, eh?
And the other thing is, why, in today's technological era, when we got things like moon landings and cruise missiles and email, why can't we just use something called camera evidence to work out when someone's done something wrong?
You know what? The one time that we did actually win the World Cup, which was about 136,000 years ago, and we're still going on about it today. One of the main reasons I wanted us to win this time was that people would stop going on about 1966. It's just painful.
That'd be a good idea.
But you know what, though? One of our goals wasn't actually a goal, and I know people have been talking about that ever since, but the evidence is right there in front of your eyes. We actually should probably have lost that game. The only one that we won, we should have actually lost.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't think the English football fans can sing that, 2 World Wars and 1 World Cup. I think the Germans are likely to win more World Cups. So they're obviously good at World Cups and we're good at World Wars, but it doesn't look like we'll have another World War, so...
Well, I don't know. Hold your breath. Just pick up a paper. There's a World War coming.
Oh, right.
Don't you worry about that, Jethro. Hey, how old are you?
How old am I?
Yes.
Oh, I'm hoping to join the Home Guard if there's another.
The Home Guard, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'll get my broomsticks out, and an old 1930s uniform, and sing things like "The Road to Tipperary." That'd be good fun.
There's so few people joining the army now that they'll probably up the conscription age to 50.
Well, that could be possible, but it'd be better perhaps than some of the jobs I've done over the last few years, just trying to pay those taxes to dear old Scottish GB.
Oh, hey, it's got to be like a Derek and Clive sketch. What's the worst job you've ever had? Anything to do with lobsters? Don't say it. I've got to go. Thanks a lot, Jethro.
Okay, bye.
Ta-da. We should play that album on the air once. Anybody think that's a good idea? Helen does. Obviously never heard it. All right, Tinky Winky Dips Teletubby News. Where are we now? 5:39. Ads at 43.50. Okay, I might be able to get this in. Teletubby News. Who likes the Teletubbies? No?
Who's under 5 round here? There was a little bit of tone in my voice there, yes?
Yes, I think that your true personality is beginning to come out. Because I said, she's a... when I was introduced, afterwards we were having a chat about you, like you do, like they do in the Big Brother house, always talking about each other behind their backs. And I said to Lucy, she seems very nice. And Lucy says, you want to watch her? No, she didn't. Iran, as you would expect, have bought the Teletubbies. You read about this?
Funnily enough, no.
Iran. The mullahs in Tehran are lapping up the Teletubbies. BBC Worldwide said that the main TV station of the Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting IRIB. Oh, they're very good. I don't think even Sky have got them, have they? The Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting. Can you imagine what their Big Brother would be like? Blood all over the walls. Nightmare. They bought 65 episodes. 65 episodes? They didn't make that many, did they? What happened? Nothing. They got up, danced around, went to bed. That's it. 65 times over. Small children are easily pleased, aren't they? They're going to dub them into Farsi. Farsi. Farsi? Farsi. You say Farsi, I say Farsi. Let's call the whole thing off. They've dubbed them into their national language, which is called that. A spokesman said, it's taking a long time to translate, as you can imagine. What's to translate? They just go, loo, loo, loo. Or was that the Wooden Tops? Blob, 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 blob.
Yes. Pingu.
Pingu?
The deal comes as Iran faces pressure over its nuclear program. Oh, here's the bad news. And the bad news is that the leader of Iran, as I've said before, is called I'm Mad in the Head. If that's what his second name is, it's Mahmoud I'm Mad in the Head. Write it out, and that's what it actually spells. I'm Mad in the Head. I mean, that's a sign, isn't it? The first shows are set to go out before the end of the year. The Teletubbies are celebrating their 10th anniversary. Are they still on the air? Here? Are they still current? They've been replaced by something that looks exactly like them, haven't they?
I can Google it.
No, don't. Their 10th anniversary. And as well as Iran, the Beavers licensed the Teletubbies Edutainment Centre and a Teletubbies Play and Development Centre in China. Struth, the silliest idea. I mean, here's £1 billion idea we didn't have. Let's dress the people up in luminous bright colours and have them do nothing. Then we can sit back and spark up a cigar. That's all you need to do. What a silly world we live in. BBC Worldwide, the Beeb's main commercial arm, yesterday reported profits of £89.4 million. Wow! And they've spent it all on chairs and plasma screens. Fact-finding trips to Australia to find out how they do, how they apply sunscreen. And it's all about Doctor Who, mostly. That's what's done it for them. And the characters. Tipsy Whipsy, he's the drunk one, right? Dipsy, he's the stupid one. La, he's the gay one. And Pooh, we don't talk about him. Of course, the La will be stoned to death in the first episode in Iran. That's something to look forward to. This is LBC 97.3.
London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
So, now today is the last day I'll ever talk about football, well, this current football craziness, unless something happens overnight and it's splashed all over the front pages again. But I don't want to talk about it anymore. We can, and after a Sunday, there will be a full, 36 minutes before the new season starts again, and then we can, start this whole mess all over again. But, because I was on Saturday night, I was quite depressed, actually, throughout the whole, partly because I wasn't looking at Lucy's shiny face, because she was off singing. And we'll be hearing something from Lucy from, what is it? What did you sing?
Brahms Requiem.
Brahms Requiem. It's one of my favourites. Just before 6 o'clock, so it's something to look forward to. But yeah, I was in a funk. You know what that means, don't you? I was like, I was a bit exhausted, actually.
Did you not cheer yourself up with Murray on the other side?
What?
Well, when we lost the football, we switched over and watched a bit of Murray to cheer us up.
Tennis?
Yeah.
No one's interested in tennis anymore.
But he was doing really well.
Oh, yeah, right.
On Saturday.
But you knew that he was going to lose eventually.
Well, no, I didn't feel that,
Oh,
no.
come off it.
I didn't.
He's British, damn it.
Or Scottish.
But today will be the last day that I talk about, because this is not Talk Spurt, this is LBC. So I won't be going on and on and on and on about it, but, I think the nation has got, like that nice man Tony, who, I pity the poor guy who was going to be next in his car.
He rang me back, by the way.
Did he?
He said he doesn't read The Sun.
Oh.
He reads The Telegraph.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Right.
So there.
So he was disgusted of Tunbridge Wells rather than of East Anglia. Yeah. But this is the back page of The Sun. Just inside it says, this is about Sven. He tossed away our cash, he tossed away our talent, and now he's tossed away our World Cup dreams. The headline, goodbye tosser. Now, is that nice? And the only chap that I've read who said anything remotely sensible about this is Stephen Howard, the chief sports writer of The Sun, who says, "We waited 7 weeks for Wayne Rooney to rediscover the use of his right foot, but his World Cup will be remembered for what he did with his left foot after planting it straight in the middle of Ricardo Carvalho's..." What was the phrase again? Guildford's, yes. You got him right in the Guildfords. Now, I don't think that he got sent off for that. I think he got sent off for putting his hands on Cristiano Ronaldo and pushing him away. Because I think if you raise your hands to someone, especially if you have to virtually do it across the face of the ref who is standing right there, then you get sent off. I mean, the evidence for that was vast. You know, they've been flashing red cards like this government fines you. It's just been going on and on and on. So you'd have to be a bit slow not to have noticed. But that's our Wayne. Yeah, well, yeah, you like him. But he didn't just kick the Chelsea centre-half in the... Well, he's used the word nuts, yeah? He did it to his teammates and thousands of fans in Germany and millions back home, did Wayne. We can rant as much as we like about the snide gamesmanship of his Manchester United teammate and diver par excellence Cristiano Ronaldo, yet Rooney had done the damage long before, and under the ref's nose, in a World Cup where red and yellow cards have been tossed around like confetti. After being substituted in the final group game against Sweden, you remember he stormed back to the dugout, took off his boots, threw them to the ground, he punched the dugout, it's like a 5-year-old. Like a 5-year-old who'd dropped to the floor of a supermarket, foaming at the mouth, screaming and crying because his mother wouldn't buy him a chocolate bunny. It was pathetic. Like, how
and he
old...
wanted his poo.
You are out of control, Helen.
His Teletubby. His poo.
Veteran United teammate Gary Neville urged him to calm down before being told to F off, just as David Beckham and Rio Ferdinand had been told when Rooney imploded in the World Cup qualifier in Belfast. And this is part of the young raging bull's problem, a lack of respect, not just for the opposition, but for everyone around him. And you know why? That's because he's always been accorded anything he wants, because he was great at football when he was at school, undoubtedly, and so he could just do anything he likes. Plus, he's that size, and he's that angry all the time, so no one would say boo to him, right? I mean, does he look like the sort of person who would be staying in class late to help others do their homework? Or would he be king of the playground and he'd nut you in the face if you looked at him wrong? I think the latter would be more likely, right? We've seen him lose it in Madrid, Belfast, Villarreal, and now Gelsenkirchen. Plus a few other times in the Premiership, including an occasion at Old Trafford on Boxing Day in 2003 when future teammate Ronaldo was on the receiving end. Playing for Everton, he was booked after racing 25 yards to catch the showboating Portuguese winger with a high tackle. What happened on Saturday is nothing new, but if it's to stop, then someone somewhere has to get hold of him. Preferably this will be Alex Ferguson. Sadly, the United boss has a poor record in this department. It's not encouraging when you recall his failure to curb the wild antics of Roy Keane and Eric Cantona. If Ferguson's loath to do it, what chance do we have of the New England boss, Steve McLaren? Opposition players know how easy it is to wind him up and to act on this short fuse, and how futile it is to make it even easier for them. We don't stand a chance, unless he can control himself, unless he can stop being such a whining baby. Oh, it wasn't me. Pathetic. We haven't got a chance, and he's the only one that can do it for us, despite the fact that we played better when he was off the pitch. This is going to be the last day I talk about football, I promise. But we're having a poll running at the moment, and it's on lbc.co.uk. If you go to On Air, down to Saturdays, because that's where I normally do, go to my name, which is Nick Abbott, and then the poll comes up, and the question is, who would do a better job than Sven? Because we've been stuck with Steve McLaren. And Steve McLaren's on 8% of the votes so far. How about Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, or Arsene Wenger, a threesome who were probably asked, but we couldn't afford them. Then there's Steven Gerrard and John Terry, who could quite reasonably play as player managers. There's no reason why not. I mean, the managers didn't really do anything. Wayne Rooney, to grow him up a bit, or your mother, who's winning, 51%. lbc.co.uk, and so far we've had 37,000 votes. That number is in thousands at the bottom there. That's excellent. What a response. Thank you so much.
Here's how to get an upgrade.
Ending nuclear holocaust. We're doomed. We're lucky to actually be alive today. An asteroid has missed us by a hair's width. Has it gone by yet?
Yes.
It
this
has.
morning.
It actually passed us.
Yeah, it apparently the distance of the moon, and it went at, I think, about 5:30 this morning.
Because if it had hit us, that would have been life over for the human race, right?
We wouldn't be here now.
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't be chatting.
No.
Because they tried to tell us that it would be... Because it was a half a mile wide and travelling at 86 billion miles an hour, or something approaching that, or an amount that makes no difference. And experts said... And as soon as that phrase, experts said, I'm like, oh, no. We're all going to die. Experts said we'll be completely safe. It'll miss us. Now, I thought... Of course, amateur astrologists will know that this thing is coming because they'll be able to see it. Probably with the naked eye it's coming that close. And so they'll know that it's on the way. And so they can't just ignore it, the authorities. They can't say, oh, no, nothing to see here. It doesn't exist. Because they'll know it does. But what they did... And you're looking... The dawning realisation is coming over your face, Lucy, that they could have said that. And this is what I thought. I thought, because they know that we'll know it's coming, they can't... pretend that it isn't, but they can pretend that it's going to miss us. Because they wouldn't tell us if it was going to hit us, would they? Because people would be... Well, they wouldn't be opening deposit accounts, for a start. They'd be like that bloke in Swansea. They'd be going to a corner and throwing their money in the air, asking if anybody wants some free cash. And they'd probably be arrested for littering. Is that guy still in prison? Did they actually put him in prison for throwing money in the air, causing a disturbance? I was proceeding in a northerly direction along Swansea High Street when I pertained to pivot. Oh, why do they speak like that? I was talking to a very nice policeman who came out of Hyde Park because I'd been to see the O last night. Apparently no one in this audience saw the Pink Floyd show on the previous night, because I was asking about that, and people were saying it was phenomenal. Best show ever. I had to do a show. Duty called. I hate when that happens. But, yeah, I went to see the Who last night, and I was asking a nice policeman, because we were all being herded down to Victoria, and no one wants to go to Victoria, do they? No. And it was all barriers. And I said, how do you cross the road? And he said, well, you proceed down here. He came out with this. I think as soon as you put the hat on, you start talking like that, like a robot. Anyway, the Who was, it was phenomenal. It was rock and roll.
Rock and roll!
Like I said. But half a mile wide asteroid has brushed past the Earth today, approaching almost as close as the Moon. Now, if it had hit the Moon, for instance, or it had gone around the Moon and had been sucked over into a new orbit, I mean, they're just guessing with this stuff, don't they? I mean, things are flying around all the time. It's just guesswork on their part, right? It could have flown straight into us. And if something a half a mile wide, travelling at 268,000 miles an hour, had hit us, well, it wouldn't be hot here. We'd be on fire. Not even in this studio would it have been cold. Life would have been over for us, and it almost happened this morning. So in other words, when it goes around again, and its elliptical orbit shortens, wow. So, like I said, don't put your money in a deposit account. Keep the cash handy at all times.
On FM.
On DAB. C97.3. 0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
So Wayne Rooney has released a statement that says he bears Cristiano Ronaldo no ill will. Does that sound like Wayne Rooney to you?
No.
No ill will? What, he came up with that phrase on his own, did he? Oh, do me a favour. Is that the same Wayne Rooney as the Sun reported was going to split him in two? Oh yeah, he's had a change of heart. He's spoken to his manager, and they've come up with something better than that. Right. Oh, well, maybe he got some learning overnight. Now he's been chucked out of the cup, he's got time for some reading. So, I know that Ian does Triple M, right?
Triple M.
What does that stand for?
Mix Mental Mayhem.
Right. Okay. Which is something that I used to do about, I don't know, ages ago. I used to call it Screamless. And I stopped doing it because I couldn't stand it anymore. So I'm not going to do it. But I've got something different for you. When I used to do it, it just descended into kids calling up to swear at me. Because, you know, you take them straight to the air, they think ideal opportunity, or they go, where? I says, I can't do this anymore, I won't. But how about we'll do a lightning round. First of all, I'm going to quiz Helen and Lucy, who had a question for me. Now, hold that question for just a second. Let me explain what's going to happen. I've got no idea how this is going to go. It might fall flat in its face. But I'm out of here at 6:30, so I don't care. Within half an hour, I'll be playing rock music, rock and roll.
Rock and roll!
Took a while to get there, but I got there eventually. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I'll do a lightning round. Okay, now the idea of a lightning round... Lucy, give me a prize I can give these nice people. Something, an LBC mug.
LBC pen?
No, better than that. A mug.
A mug?
Have we got a mug?
What about a mouse mat? That's probably better. It won't get smashed in the post.
How about a mug?
Oh.
All right, your choice of an LBC pen, mouse mat or mug.
What about I'll see what I can find?
No, you've got to give them something
say
specific.
Well, the thing is that our mugs...
Here we go, a thing is...
are the ones that we drink out of, aren't they?
There's none to give away?
I don't think so.
All right, so they have a choice of a pen...
They can have a pen and a mouse mat.
Pen or a mouse mat?
Yes.
Or both? If
Probably,
they're really
yes.
great...
If they're really good.
OK, so the best call gets your choice of a pen or a mouse mat, and if it's really great, and we'll have to confer amongst ourselves, they'll get both, right? A free thing. That's what everybody loves, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the idea of the game is to complete a sentence. Now, this is an ideal opportunity if you never call a radio show. I would never call a radio show, would you?
Probably not.
Probably not, no. Most people who listen to radio shows would never call. It's only like 5% of the population who would actually pick up the phone and call a show. Because they don't want to be embarrassed and they don't want to go through this, hello, how are you, and who are you sleeping with, and all that folderol that impertinent talk show hosts will go through with them. So, I'm not going to ask who you are, I'm not going to ask who you're doing it with, or any of that, or where you come from, or anything like that. We'll just take you straight to there, and you just finish a sentence. And the sentence is, I love. Now, how's that? Now, that's the first thing that popped into your mind, that's what I want. Or you can cancel that thought and come up with a funnier one. So that's it. We'll do that after the... because there's another break coming up in about 5 minutes or so. And we'll do it after that. And the number's 0870 90 90 973. Just finish the sentence, I love. It's a lightning round. With a prize for the last 5 minutes of the show, because I cannot bring myself to do screenless again. Or Triple M, as it's now called. But first, I'm going to quiz you two. Are you ready? This is going to check to see whether you are actually modern women.
Okay.
Lucy, ready?
I'm ready.
Helen, ready?
Yeah.
I can't stop
quizzes.
saying that. I should bring in some Helen Ready tomorrow. Does anybody want to hear some?
No.
No? Right. Okay.
Which track?
All of them. It'll be your all Helen Ready station for the new millennium.
God.
Now, this is a quiz about as an up-down list. Going up, going down, right? There's 10 in all, and it's in the women's section of the Sunday Times. Is this ridiculous lightweight thing that is aimed solely at women? As a woman, I would be offended. Aren't you offended by the nature of this silly supplement? The style section?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Very frightened right now.
Why they put A.A. Gill's column in the back of this silly thing, I've got no idea, because he is properly great. Oh, we liked the restaurant yesterday. Anyway, back to the quiz. These are up and down. You have to tell me if it's going up or down, and only women would know the correct answer to these questions, all right? OK, now I'll give you the name of a thing, and you have to say up or down, and then I'll tell you whether you're right at the end, if we've got enough time.
Do we confer first?
Well, we haven't got time for any of that. You're not going to win a prize, so let's just get on with it, OK? Waitrose ugly fruit range.
Oh.
Up. Tax relief on childcare.
Up.
Buying winter coats in July.
Up.
Now you think, because the shops of winter clothes are now in the shops, aren't they? Because they're selling off all their summer stock before it's even... OK, but...
Well, you can say down. I'm saying
no,
up.
I'm sorry, I'm getting your first answer.
Well, I said up.
I'm not being given a chance. Helen's firing.
Well, you have to get in there on the buzzer.
Okay.
A film called The Breakup. I've got no idea what this is.
Down.
Up.
So down was the first answer. Dubstep, which is a musical form. Dubstep.
Down.
Oh, you know dubstep, don't you?
Down.
Down. Fratire, which they say is a new wave of, you know, chick lit?
Yeah.
Well, the male equivalent rhymes with chick. Lit?
Oh, yes,
I can't
yes.
even say it.
Yes. Richard Lit.
So is that up or down? Richard Lit, exactly right.
Down.
Yes. Down.
I'll say up.
Jade Goody's perfume.
Down. I hope.
Women are worse to themselves than men are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Nail tattoos.
Down.
Links. You know, the men's
Down.
aftershave
down.
stuff?
Definitely down.
Really? Frilly tennis knickers.
Up.
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 10 in all. How do you think you did?
Pretty good.
I'll go for about 60%.
60%.
About 90.
90?
Yeah.
90. Helen is confident.
Very.
Now, if you don't get above 60%, you will be gutted.
Gobsmacked.
Gobsmacked. Yeah.
Well, can we continue with the football illusion? You'll be sick as a parrot.
Gobsmacked.
Gobsmacked.
Yeah.
I think we've settled on gobsmacked. Would you like
Yeah.
to confer
About what?
about whether you
Whether
will
we'll
be
be
gobsmacked
gobsmacked
or
or
sick
not.
as a parrot?
I think we'll be gobsmacked.
Okay, gobsmacked
Yeah.
it is. Answers in a moment.
When you suffer with a back problem, all you want is to find some relief.
97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
Nick Abbott.
Right, so for a chance to win some excellent LBC prizes, your choice, or both, if you're really fantastic, then the number is 0870 90 90 973. I'm doing a lightning round. All you have to do is finish the sentence, I love. Everyone's got to love something, right? And I won't ask you who you are or your name or anything like that. If you're absolutely great, I'll put you on hold and we'll prize you up at the end. That's what the kids say these days, isn't it? 0870 90 90 973. Just finish the sentence, I love. But first, the answers to our quiz. You ready, girls? Frilly knickers, frilly tennis knickers, you said up. Correct, from Janet Rieger. Essential for those whoops-a-daisy moments. What's that? Don't ask. Dubstep, you said down. No, dark thumping rhythms bubbling up from the South London hood. We're plugging into burial, whatever that is. The South London hood. Like anybody that writes the style section in the Sunday Times has ever even been to South London. The Breakup, the film, you said down. No, it's up. Whatever it is. The critics have panned it. Well, it couldn't possibly be worse than Pirates of the Caribbean, could it?
I think I said up on that one, actually.
Well, I think that Lucy probably said down. Anyway, the judge's decision is final. Tax relief on childcare. You said up, of course, yes. Waitrose ugly fruit range, very popular. You said up, that's right. Tastier and cheaper than their pretty counterparts. Like men, they work harder. What does that mean? Buying winter coats in July. All the clothes shops now are selling off their winter clothes just as summer is their summer clothes just as summer is starting. That's absolutely insane. They do that every year. When is that? When is the business going to figure it out? You said down. That's right. Jade Goody's perfume as one. You said down, and that's right too. What don't you like about Jade? Fratire, a new wave of Richard Lit that puts girls back in the missionary position and beer into Bellas. You said down, that's correct. Nail tattoos, you said down. Yes, you're right. And Lynx aftershave. Neither of you like that.
No.
And
yes,
you got that right too. You got 70%.
Woo! That was over 60, wasn't it?
Over 60.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well done.
Helen did say 90%. She thought,
I know. Overly confident, I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah. She's almost not British. Right, how long have we got? Not long. So you're finishing the sentence, I love, and we don't go in a conversation just as soon as you hear yourself on the air, or as soon as you hear the phone answered, then just finish the sentence, and the best wins a prize. Carol.
I love it when Ian Lee takes time off.
Jonathan. Okay, now, this is not exactly how you said it was going to work. So I have to hang up Carol and go, Jonathan. Right. I'm going to get the hang of it eventually.
Hello, hi.
Yes, sir.
I just said I was just want to tell you how much I'm enjoying the programme, really.
Thanks, mate. What do you love?
And I've heard your name mentioned before because you're on Saturday nights, are you?
Yes, what do you love? Tell me what you love.
I love people.
You loves people. Yes, hello.
Hello.
Robert.
Yes.
You love?
Music.
Music. Have people actually got the hang of this yet? As soon as you hear yourself on the air, just finish the sentence, I love. Sean. Why doesn't this work for me? This machine absolutely flat out hates me. Sean.
Hello, I love the way that Sven-Goran Eriksson, despite earning £5 million a year, still has the teeth of a caveman.
Dagenham.
I love the smell of sunburnt skin.
In the morning. She was disqualified for not completing the sentence. Tessa.
I love newspapers with not one waxy slapper picture in it anywhere.
Waxy slapper.
Slapper.
Waxy slapper.
Slapper as in not very elegant.
Yeah, I know. But did you say waxy slapper?
No, wags.
Oh, wags. Oh, that's awful, Tessa. Those nice ladies. Whitechapel.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I love Helen behind the glass.
Got a fan, Helen. Fortunately, he's all the way over in Whitechapel. Tolworth.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I love my wife because it's our anniversary today and we've been married 7 years.
Oh, 7 years. Feeling itchy?
I'll
take that as a yes. If you have to think about it, Neasden.
Hello, yeah?
Neasden.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I love big butts and I do not lie.
Isn't that number one these days? I love big butts. I think that's number one in the hit parade. Are they still calling it that? Is Southampton.
You fear Ian Lee.
Barnet.
Hello, I love the smell of freshly mown cut grass on a rainy day. I love snow and I love summer nights.
She was disqualified for loving too much. Too effusive. Is South Mims.
Hi. I love the way you're working really hard to make a terrific programme.
Well, I haven't finished yet. I've got another 64 hours to do today. I'll be starting my next gig. I'll be starting my next show 3 minutes before I finish this one. That's how busy I am. But thank you, Jackie.
My pleasure.
Ta-ra, dear. Kingston.
Hello,
Yes.
it's Maggie. I love to love.
But my baby just loves to dance.
Exactly.
Maggie. I think you're winning so far.
You reckon?
As shocking as that sounds, yes. How do I put her on hold? I just go, I put her back up there? All right, Maggie's on 2. Maggie. Seaton...
Out.
Seaton... Delaval. Why isn't that working? Come on.
Which number?
5. Oh,
5's gone.
Don't bash it.
Don't bash it.
No.
But it only...
You've got to caress it lightly.
Oh, no, this machine doesn't appreciate light caressing. Here's Tottenham. Oh, Sean.
Oh, hello.
Sean.
Hello.
Hit me with your best shot.
I've already been. I already said I like the fact that Sven-Goran Eriksson...
Yes. What he means is, please refer to the answer I gave some moments ago. Here's Crouch End.
I love cheap garden furniture and it loves me.
Well, we missed that, unfortunately. It was almost like it was self-bleeped. Somebody in a Maserati was powering away from the lights right by him and we missed it. Oh dear, what a shame, never mind. Croydon.
I love blowing raspberries on my dog's belly.
I'm calling the RSPCA. He likes blowing raspberries on his dog's belly.
What?
Muswell Hill.
Hello?
Angela.
Yes.
Go on then.
I love listening to the radio, LBC 97.3.
Okay, she's disqualified for sucking up. Let's go with, the Ronda.
Ooh, yesterday I went bobsleighing. I killed 25 people called Bob.
Let's have, Sidcup.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, I like to stimulate my cat.
Okay, I think that's, what with dogs and cats. Can we have... Oh, blimey, can we have a few fewer animals on the show? Including that one. So far it's Maggie, and she loves to love. But her baby just loves to dance. That's weak. She just took the second word of the sentence and just repeated it at the end. Hackney.
Weak. You just took the first
Hey, Hackney.
word of the sentence and just... Hello?
Yes, turn your radio down, mate.
Sorry,
How's that?
Hackney.
Yeah. I love my wife and my children and my wonderful grandchildren.
Oh, so he's disqualified for being boring on a mobile.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I love to love.
He's disqualified for not listening to this show. Here's Hackney.
Leighton.
Whatever.
I like feeling anxious. Unbearably so at times.
Right, how does Anxious feel about it? Here's Leatherhead.
I love Lucy.
Oh, that's one for each of you, but none for me. Seaton Delaval, wherever that is. Oh, Seaton.
It's not Seaton. It's Newcastle.
Right, she's disqualified for being in Newcastle. OK, that's it. Ian's coming back whenever he's back, and I'll be back tomorrow. Ta-ta!
How does phoning into...
Tonight, a train crash has left 34 people dead and dozens of others hurt in eastern Spain.
Possible combination of excess